It's 3 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a funeral for a trailblazer.
I'm Greg Mansick. Blessings to a point.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we start off with the two right lanes closed on southbound 94 in Kenosha. Two right lanes blocked just south of 158 because of a vehicle fire. It's been there pretty much most of the afternoon, so just watch out for that and try to avoid it if you can. Luckily, you have the frontage roads to work with. Southbound on 43, slowing down from pretty much just north of Hampton all the way down past Keefe to Locust. Northbound slowing down just north of North Avenue all the way up to Keefe. And westbound 94, your usual backups from around the 25th Street area through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy, low 29 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 43 degrees. It's currently 34. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the funeral service today for the first woman to serve on the Supreme Court, the late Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. The service at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. included remarks from the president.
President Biden said Sandra Day O'Connor believed the Supreme Court is where all Americans looked for protection of their rights, the bedrock of America.
It was the vital line of defense for the values and the vision of our republic, devoted not to pursuit of power for power's sake, but to make real the promise of America.
Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Decision, Wisconsin, a pair of high-profile visits scheduled in the Badger State. President Biden will be in Milwaukee on Wednesday to discuss his economic agenda. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris will campaign on women's health here in Wisconsin. Details regarding her visit are currently being kept under wraps.
The Milwaukee Archdiocese says it's open to giving pastoral blessings to anyone who's seeking God's help. This after Pope Francis declared priests can bless same-sex couples. Archbishop Jerome Listecki tells WTMJ.
What the Pope did is he just clarified in response to the question, can a priest offer a blessing that's requested of him? And certainly he can.
Listecki says the Pope's declaration doesn't change the Church's teaching on marriage.
Married former clergymen Joe Maddalena and Scott Lone are happy about the Pope's recent declaration. Maddalena was a former Catholic priest, telling TMJ4 News.
It feels like I'm not just tolerated but accepted, that my husband and I, Scott and I, are accepted, and that we are not stepchildren, but we're still part of the family.
Maddalena says they're going to start planning on getting a blessing from a priest with hopes of doing so for their 25th anniversary of being together in 2029.
It's shaping up to be a big and controversial year of Supreme Court decisions next year.
Retired Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Mary Kuhnmensch tells WTMJ Now she's dismayed with the current state of Supreme Court elections in Wisconsin.
It has become far and away much more partisan. To my dismay and to my disappointment, I don't know that we can ever get it back.
Kuhnmensch says she's a good friend of the newest justice, Janet Protasewicz, and she says she thinks Protasewicz might surprise some people.
I think she could, in fact, turn a lot of heads and may align with Brian Hagedorn more than she does with even the liberal sector.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
A major merger in Wisconsin healthcare is now official. Freighted Health and ThedaCare announcing this afternoon that two systems have finalized their merger agreement and plan to launch their combined health system on the first of the year. Longtime Freighted Health President and CEO Kathy Jacobson will initially assume the role of CEO of the new organization, but she's retiring after a 6-month transition period. ThedaCare's President and CEO Imran Adrabi will then take over in charge of the system.
UW Health is reinstituting masking requirements effective today. The decision is due to increases in RSV, flu, and COVID-19 numbers. Staff, patients, and visitors will need to wear masks in exam rooms and waiting areas. Masks are already required in high-risk locations like the UW Health Transplant Center.
Time to get your beer on. Third Pace Brewing is expanding. The craft brewer planning to open a new location at the site of the former Tristing Pub in Menominee Falls. The site near Appleton and Good Hope has been closed for about 3 years. The brewer hopes to open by June of 2024.
The Bucks' longest homestand of the season continues tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. Coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. Milwaukee 19-7 on the season. The Spurs are struggling. They're 4-21. And in college hoops, 6th-ranked Marquette begins Big East play tonight on the road at Providence. Hear that game on 94.5 ESPN with coverage beginning at 7 o'clock.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ news time is 3:03.
This report's sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Where did the time go? These trips around the sun whiz by faster and faster. And now a new year is here. A new season is upon us. But it's more than just the winter season. We look forward to a new season of grace, peace, and civility. But we won't see a season of change until we change. Until we start listening instead of shouting. Until we see each other as allies and not adversaries. Until we put others first and our agendas last. Change starts with our words, our actions, and our hearts. Be grateful. Be present. Be kind. Give a smile and a compliment. Donate time or money to a charity. Send an email praising excellent customer service. And never underestimate the power of saying please and thank you. Because yours may be the only one they hear today. Here's to the changing season. May it be change for the better. A holiday wish from Mr. Holland's Home Services.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery. And from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry, "Replace! Replace!" But the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenex are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
It's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel, and this holiday season, I've got a magical idea for you. Why not give the gift of Disney magic? It's the perfect way to unwrap memories, adventure, and joy, and make Disney dreams come true this year. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO to speak with our dream team. We're here to make your holiday wishes come true. Happy holidays from all of us at Fox World Travel, where dreams truly begin. Call us at 866-GO-FOX-GO.
Old National Bank.
I just got your home equity loan, and this feeling of joy and exhilaration overcame me.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon we call getting old.
Wow, so I'm not the only one?
No, small business owners feel it with expansion loans. Families feel it when they're setting up trusts and 529s. Nonprofits who need financing to help the community. And anyone who needs investment advice, they all feel it.
So it's not just me?
No, you're in a pretty big club.
Like a club I can join?
I really don't.
Is there at least a secret handshake?
Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Old National. Get old. Member FDIC.
There's an inviting holiday chill waiting for you at your local Merle Norman. Our holiday 2023 color collection is available now, featuring a gift-worthy opalized palette filled with 9 limited edition soft touch shadows. Pair your palette with 3 shades of crisp candy cane scented tinted lip balm, including neutral cashmere cream, a dimensional plum shimmer, and red sangria cream. Shop all holiday limited editions while supplies last at Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa at Brookfield Square.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope your week is going really well. I am here. Greg Matzik is here. Debbie Lozica's got your roads. Wyatt Barr-Marpouli's on top of everything in the newsroom. And Sam Butson's producing the show this afternoon. We are staffed up. We're ready to go.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
All right, Greg, what's up first?
Well, funeral service today, John, in the nation's capital for Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman to ever serve on the U.S. Supreme Court, and President Biden among those to speak at the ceremony.
More than 40 years ago, on a Wednesday in September 1981, the Senate Judiciary Committee came to order. I was the ranking member of that committee, and the day's business was momentous. The nomination of Sandra Day O'Connor to become the first woman in American history to serve as a Supreme Court Justice on the United States Supreme Court.
O'Connor, of course, a trailblazer for women in the United States.
Women do have a great role to play in our country and in these times in terms of leadership roles. It's very impressive, and we have problems to solve, and women can help solve them in very realistic terms.
O'Connor was appointed by President Reagan to the court in 1981, and she retired relatively young. She was 75 years old, retired to take care of her husband who had dementia, and then she lived another couple of decades. She was a top-ranked graduate of Stanford's Law of School. This is how groundbreaking her appointment was. When she arrived at the court in 1981, there wasn't even a women's bathroom anywhere near the courtroom, not even on the floor where the justices deliberated, because it had always been just a men's game. That obviously changed. One of her favorite sayings became, "Get it done." She would say when deliberating with other justices, she'd like to be effective and quick. Her son today said this is how she liked to relax. She would work 15-hour days on stuff related to the Supreme Court, and then she would play 3 rounds of tennis or squeeze in 18 holes of golf.
Jeez.
How do you even do that? She would get up in the middle of the night to begin her work on the court. A voracious reader, an intellect, a trailblazer, Sandra Day O'Connor passes away, and her funeral held today. She was 93 years old. All right, what's the second thing?
Well, Wisconsin's favorite gas station / convenience store expanding in a major way.
Quick Trip. I love Quick Trip. They're planning a $151 million business expansion, Greg. It's going to create 500 new jobs. Here's the plan. An expansion of their dairy, bakery, and commissary operations in La Crosse and construction of a new distribution center. 80% of those products we all like, the baked goods, the hot sandwiches, all that stuff, 80% of it is produced in La Crosse. It's produced here in the state, and then it's distributed via their semi-network throughout the state of Wisconsin. So they're going to expand that. They're going to open it up. They're going to grow. They have 506 stores in Wisconsin, 350 more in the Midwest. I want to know if this is in response to Buc-ee's coming to town. So Buc-ee's is going to be massive. It is going to be the biggest gas station convenience store in the state of Wisconsin. It's going to open fall of 2025 in the Madison area. And here's Quick Trip, who's already the big dog in town, and they are expanding big time.
There are Quick Trips across the street from one another. Really no joke.
Literally,
they
right?
have really blown up, especially in the area you and I live. And, you know, the competing gas station or convenience store would be a Casey's maybe, but
yeah.
there are very few of those
Speedway,
in the area.
I kind of think
would be
of.
a pretty decent one. That's a little more toward the city. But yes, Quick Trips, they're fantastic.
I love the baked goods in a Quick Trip. All right, what's the third thing we're tracking?
Wait, want to live in the shadows of Lambeau Field? It's going to cost you.
I'm not sure how I feel about this price. So this is on Wildwood Lane. It's just south of Lambeau Field. If you stand in the backyard of this house, you have a clear view of the south end zone at Lambeau Field, the exterior of Lambeau Field.
And on game days, to your left would be a bunch of cars parked in a field.
You got that right. So this is the house. This is the view. It is a house that's 4-bedroom, 2-bath, has a hot tub and an in-ground pool. It's a pretty decent-looking house. Looks like it was built in the 1970s. Looks like it was well taken care of. They're asking $700,000. $700,000. They say it's as close as you can get to Lambeau Field without being inside Lambeau Field. Sales of homes there have spiked. My gut tells me they'll get more than that for this. They could turn it into a party house. There's rental income there potential.
Sure.
But it's been sitting unsold for 80 days.
The house looks a little beat up on the outside.
It looks a little rough.
And it looks a little dated on the inside. Now, it's 4 bedrooms, 2 bath. It's like 2,200 square feet. It needs new siding.
Has not been renovated either.
It's not. So, I mean, you're going to sink some money into it. But to your point, and our company has done this, right? Craig Karmazin, founder and CEO of Good Karma Brands, scooped up a couple of houses several years ago, right as you're pulling in to Lambeau off Oneida. And those have become hospitality locations for game days.
So my house, our family lived at 1063 Blue Ridge. So if you're coming in from the highway on Lombardi Avenue, as you get to Lambeau Field, one of the main streets you turn on if you're going left is Ridge. If you turn down Ridge, there's a restaurant called Kroll's. It's a hamburger place right across from Lambeau. Everybody knows that. So you walk out of Lambeau on the west side, you cross the street, you're at Kroll's. If you walked out the back of Kroll's, our house was right there. Our house was so close that on game day, if we were home and the weather was nice, if the Packers scored a touchdown and you quickly muted the TV, you could hear the stadium erupt in through the house. It sounded like you were in the stadium. It was cool. We parked 50 cars in the yard every game day for cash. We made friends that we're still friends with all these years later that parked in our yard. It's an incredible neighborhood. Our house still sits. It's the last house on that side of the stadium that wasn't demolished to make way for Titletown. So now it looks out on Titletown.
So the average Green Bay home value is about $233,000. That's up about 10% from one year to the next. My guess is that this home that we're talking about for $700,000, if it were anywhere else in Green Bay, you might be able to get it for $315,000.
Yep.
$320,000 maybe. That's just a guess.
So let's keep an eye on this and see if it eventually ends up being bought, and if they put a couple $100,000 in renovation into it, then it turns into a party
Let's
house.
go halvesies on it. We can use it as a party house.
Oh, that'd be fun.
You could use another house.
It could be a weekend getaway.
There you go.
Yeah, I could use it. I do not need another house. It is 3:14 at WTMJ. Travel. I think Thursday is what they're expecting to be the busiest travel day of the year for the Christmas holiday because of where Christmas falls this year, with it being on a Monday. People want to be there for the weekend. We will check out what travel looks like if you're going by car, if you're going by plane, have some tips for you. ABC's Derek Dennis with us live after Debbie helps get you home. Guthrie and Fry is a company that I trust big time. They protect the water in our house. We've got a Guthrie and Fry water softener. We've got a osmosis system. That means that it filters the water right as it comes out of the sink, right as it comes out of the refrigerator. Our water is crisp, clean, and clear. Our water has never been better. It's Guthrie and Fry. They treat their clients like family. Friendly, budget-conscious conditioning systems. It's a piece of cake. Rob and Sue and their team there. Quality products at a very, very good price. Guthrie Fry water. If you need a water softener, even if you have one, check these guys out. They're more affordable, and the quality is impeccable. It's Guthrie and Fry, quality products and services at a fair price. But what really sets them apart is their level of service before, after, and during the transaction. It's Guthrie and Fry.
This is WTMJ's Sandy Max with a brand new show called What's on Tap. Weeknights at 6, you're invited to join me to take a deeper dive into culture and creativity here in Wisconsin and around the world. Tap into all kinds of entertainment and recreation with me, from music, theater, film, food, and uniquely Wisconsin traditions and landmarks. So pique your curiosity and join me for What's on Tap. And be sure to catch the podcast on your favorite podcast platform.
Hey, happy holidays from Siding Unlimited, all of their great craftsmen, the office folks, the families as well. It's Siding Unlimited, family-owned and operated in Brookfield, 665 Larry Court. And you know Siding Unlimited is the best contractor for defending your house against the winter weather, which is coming. We know sincere winter is around the corner, and Siding Unlimited will help defend against the wicked winter winds. They'll install the big stuff: the windows, the doors, the roofing, the siding, decking materials, paver patios, outdoor kitchens, you name it, really anything to help beautify your home's exterior. You can rely on Siding Unlimited. They've got all sorts of industry awards, and personally speaking, they have done incredible work at our homes over the years. It's Siding Unlimited. My friends, incredible craftsmen, great products, put it all together for you. SidingUnlimited.com is the web address, or visit their showroom in Brookfield, 665 Larry Court. Happy holidays from Siding Unlimited.
Sweet, flaky, and utterly delicious. That's the famous Kringle from O&H Danish Bakery. Guaranteed to get you on the nice list, O&H Danish Bakery can deliver that heavenly goodness right to your doorstep. Now that's a memorable gift where you know you've nailed it. And it arrives fresh in just 2 business days, anywhere within the country. Order online today, ohdanishbakery.com, or come on in to O&H Danish Bakery in Racine, Oak Creek, or Sturnivan and taste the difference of bakery made from scratch.
Traffic and weather. Good afternoon, Deb.
John, that earlier problem in Kenosha County on southbound 94 at 158, that has been picked up. It was a vehicle fire that had a bunch of lanes blocked. That's all gone, and looks like the delays have dissipated too. Upwards of around us, northbound on 43, backups from North Avenue all the way up to about Keith. Southbound side's going to be a little bit backed up as well, from Bender Road all the way down to about Locust. It is going to be an 18-minute ride from Brown Deer Road into downtown. And southbound 41, we've got a little bit of a backup there from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. But if you see something on the roads that you think we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall, Mazda, Milwaukee.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329 and visit Hall Mazda during Mazda's Season of Inspiration. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 29 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 43. On Thursday, rainy, a high of 45. Friday, rainy, a high of 45. It's currently 34 degrees. The airport rush is about to begin. Christmas is on a Monday. That means a lot of people are going to try to get there for the weekend. ABC's Derek Dennis is with us from New York, where they've had crazy weather. It's been busy travel. Derek, good afternoon. How are things in New York?
Hi, good afternoon to you. You know, things are really just now getting back to normal after weekend storms here. Caused a lot of travel delays and cancellations, and there's still some flooding in many areas in the metropolitan New York area that crews are having to deal with. But as far as travel goes, again, back to normal. But the Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, warned today that across the country, the weather could be a factor in holiday travel plans, especially as far as the airlines are concerned. So you're going to have to check ahead and be prepared.
Bigger problems getting into the East Coast airports or getting out, or both?
Really both, but mostly I would think at least at the height of the storms that were happening Sunday night into Monday, there were troubles getting into New York City airports. And many flights had to be turned away, canceled, and it was a problem for cruise ships as well. There are stories about cruise ships having to be diverted to Boston and to Canada because they just couldn't sail into New York ports. That's over now, but there's a lot of effects and a lot of travelers who have been impacted for sure.
So, Derek, experts are predicting Thursday will be the busiest day with Christmas on a Monday. Friday and Saturday also going to be busy?
Friday and Saturday will be busy as well, and the busy stretch will go right through New Year's Day. That's the prediction here. And so, this Thursday, a really big travel day, and then through the weekend, and then after that, the post-holiday rush will be just as busy, it's predicted. So, really, if you've got to travel, you want to get to the airports early, check ahead, and really look at the weather maps to see where there could be problems ahead.
Yeah, it seems like collectively, Derek, things are in a little better position than they were a year ago. We were talking about the Southwest disaster, and they just had nothing up and running. Their systems had crashed. Of course, the federal government has fined them now. It's a big deal, $140 million, but it seems like they're in a much better position today than they were a year ago.
Yeah, and that's thanks in large part to the pressure that was put on by the federal government for the airlines to just get their act together and not have the kinds of cancellations and delays we saw during the last holiday travel season last year. And so many of the airlines say they've upped their staffing, they've changed some of their routes. They've gotten the FAA to open up military airspace to allow more commercial flights to travel, to get more planes in the air. And then the planes that are flying, more of those bigger jumbo jets into hub airports, not so much the commuter flights, because those are the ones that tend to get canceled the most. The jumbo planes, they carry more passengers and they're more likely to fly.
You know, I can't believe, Derek, how expensive flights are. It's amazing, and every plane is packed, but prices are high, aren't they?
They are, especially compared to last year and, during the pandemic when the airlines were really struggling to get people to take flights. Now choosing one or the other for sure. The roads are going to be just as packed. The last check was something like 140 million Americans will try and really hit the roads, over the next several months, and not just the holiday season, but through the year, choosing to drive rather than fly. And so that's the number from AAA. And, of course, people are enjoying relatively lower gas prices. So that's encouraging people to drive their cars to their destinations.
Traveling anywhere yourself, Derek?
I'm staying local this holiday season, particularly because of, as you mentioned, the higher flights, the higher cost of airline tickets for sure, making me think local versus traveling. But at some point, I'm going to want to take a trip, and I think a lot of people are in the same boat. And so we'll be at the airport at some point.
We got to get you that Wheels Up membership, right? You just hop on your private plane, go wherever you'd like, man. We'll make it easy.
Or that, or, there are some airlines that are offering those sort of jumbo tickets where you sort of like sign up for a service through a particular airline and you can take so many flights a year. That seems like a good deal as well.
There you go. Stocking stuffer. We're going to get that for you, Derek.
Okay, I'll be waiting.
ABC's Derek Dennis, thank you.
Sure thing.
Hey, right across from our airport, the oldest bar in Milwaukee is set to reopen. This is a pretty cool story. It's called Landmark 1850 Inn. And it's been open until it shut down. It was open for 150 years. It's a cool old Cream City brick building. It's on Howell, literally across from the airport. It's a very old tavern. The oldest, they believe, before it shut down. It shut down when not the original owner, but when the latest owner passed away in 2022. His sons tried to take it over. It's a problem. I love when these old buildings are brought back to life. I love it still standing. It looks like a great building. Can you imagine the history before the Civil War?
Yeah, that's the amazing part to me. So this is a very old, it looks like a Cream City brick 2-story house, but a good-sized house at that. And if you know the area, you've certainly driven by this. You've seen it. And I don't know if it's part of the historical registry or if it's been protected, but I'm sort of surprised that it's still standing, a building that is 150-plus years old.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They're going to have typical bar food, but they say what they're going to focus in on is out-of-the-box scratch cocktails, like a strawberry, raspberry, Long Island iced tea slushie. They say one of the things they were famous for was that they only did old-fashioned sweet. You couldn't get an old-fashioned sour in there.
Interesting.
And they're going to do that again, so they're hoping that they open this bad boy up sometime in the spring. Landmark 1850 Inn. That's good stuff.
Love the sour.
I do too. Me too, actually.
It's underrated.
Yes. It's 3:26 at WTMJ. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update on your Tuesday. All right, the rally continues on Wall Street. Everything in the green again. I could really get used to this. The S&P 500 up 28 points. It's at 4768. The Dow closing up 251 points, and it closed over 37,500. Another barrier crushed. The NASDAQ also broke through a big barrier. The NASDAQ up 98 points today. It's now over 15,000. It's over 15,000. And the Russell 2000 was up 38 points, closing at 2020. So it's over 2,000. Wow, what a day. The Annex Wealth Management Year-End Tax Planning Guide is here. Download yours at annexwealth.com.
What's keeping you up at night? That dripping sound in the attic? The check engine light? Maybe work stress? Or is it a general unrest over the state of your finances? Today's headlines don't help. It could be the nagging feeling that your investment partner isn't really a partner at all. They may be operating in someone's best interest, but that someone isn't you. It's time for Annex Wealth Management. It's time for a top-to-bottom analysis of what you've got and where you're going. It's easy and there's no obligation. Seriously, head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button. Do that, and our investment, planning, tax, and estate teams swing into action. What's next is clear thinking from Annex that produces sound recommendations. And unlike others, we work in your best interest as a fiduciary. That commitment runs so deep, we put it in writing for every client. Does your advisor do that? Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Start at annexwealth.com.
I'm looking for the fastest and easiest way to sell my home, and I keep hearing one name over and over. So I ask people, why Grandview Homes instead of a real estate agent?
We needed to sell Mom's home quickly and with a company we could rely on.
We settled on Grandview based primarily on reputation.
Was the house in rough shape?
Yeah.
She accumulated 50 years worth of stuff.
It was very convenient to just leave everything I did not want and not worry about it. They took out all the stress of emptying and cleaning the home.
That sounds pretty easy.
And no showings, no closing costs, no staging, no real estate agent fees, no added stress.
Okay, that is easy.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. We buy every home as is, and you'll get a fair cash offer in just hours. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores has once again been voted the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's Best in Thrift. So to all our loyal customers who voted for us, thank you. And to all who haven't been here yet, we know we have a treasure or two that will intrigue you. And at thrift store prices, you know you're going to get a great deal. And at the same time, you'll be helping us help others. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd in Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hi, I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. Are you looking for the perfect gift? Why not give the gift of travel? Come along with me to one of the most popular and fun destinations in the world, Ireland. Make memories of a lifetime as we explore Ireland in spring, May 4th through the 12th. Experience Irish culture. Visit the cliffs of Moher, Galway, Killarney, Cork, and Dublin. Our personal travel expert, Steve Bertrand, takes care of every aspect of your travel arrangements. Email me, sandy@WTMJ.com, or call 847-606-6065.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living. Learn more about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options. Visit harwoodplace.org or call to schedule a tour.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm Wyatt Barmore Pooley. Your top story, finally, a raise for thousands.
I'm Debbie Laziga, slowing down a bit on 43 southbound from Silver Spring all the way down past Burleigh. The northbound side's backing up from North Avenue up to Keefe. Also have some delays along southbound 4394, basically between Lapham and Lincoln Avenue. Southbound on 41, also seeing some backups from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight we're going to have partly cloudy skies, a low of 29. Tomorrow, partly cloudy again, a high of 43. It is 32 degrees in Milwaukee at 3:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a Republican-controlled legislative committee now has approved pay raises for University of Wisconsin system employees after months of holding up the wage increases. The Joint Committee on Employment Relations voting 5-1 today to increase the base salaries of those employees by 4% this year and by 2% next July. The raises will apply to about 35,000 UW system employees. The Journal-Sentinel reports that despite the deal that Assembly Speaker Robin Vos struck with the UW officials over campus diversity programs that led the way to these raises being approved, Vos says even further scrutiny of programming on DEI is needed. Tragedy in Waupaca County, where 4 siblings were killed in a drunk driving crash over the weekend. The victims including 2 children, both students in the Wyoega-Fremont School District. Police say Scott Farmer of Neenah was driving the wrong way on Highway 10 when he hit the victim's SUV over the weekend. The judge setting his cash bond at $750,000. The victim's stepfather, Kurt Schilling, telling reporters it wasn't high enough.
A known felon who has done this multiple times has the ability, possibly economically, to get out of jail again.
Schilling says the siblings, Daniel, Fabian, Lillian, and Daniela, were on their way home from a shopping trip when they were hit. Farmer is due back in court next week. The Milwaukee Archdiocese says it's open to giving pastoral blessings to anyone who is seeking God's help. This after Pope Francis declared priests can bless same-sex couples. Archbishop Jerome Listecki telling WTMJ.
What the Pope did is he just clarified in response to the question, can a priest offer a blessing that's requested of him? And certainly he can.
Listecki says the Pope's declaration doesn't change the Church's teachings overall on marriage. Married former clergymen Joe Maddalena and Scott Lone are happy about the Pope's recent declaration. Maddalena was a former Catholic priest himself. He tells TMJ4 News.
It feels like I'm not just tolerated but accepted, that my husband and I, Scott and I, are accepted, and that we are not stepchildren, but we're still part of the family.
Maddalena says they're going to start planning on getting a blessing from a priest with hopes of doing so for their 25th anniversary of being together. That'll be in 2029. A major merger in Wisconsin healthcare now official. Freighted Health and ThedaCare announcing this afternoon that the two health systems have finalized their merger agreement. They're planning to launch the combined health system on the 1st of 2024. Longtime Freighter Health President and CEO Kathy Jacobson will initially assume the role of CEO for the new combined organization, but she is planning to retire after a 6-month transition period. After that, ThedaCare's president and CEO Imran Andrabi will then take over in charge of the combined healthcare systems. And a new space for Third Space. The craft brewer is planning to open a new location at the site of the former Tri-Sting Pub in Menominee Falls. The site near Appleton and Good Hope has been closed for 3 years. The brewer is hoping to open their new space by June of next year. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, Sighting Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 3:34.
More than $1.1 million worth of Kidde smoke and carbon monoxide alarms were donated in 2023 through Operation Save a Life. This public service campaign, sponsored by leading fire safety brand Kidde, along with the Home Depot and in collaboration with ABC, is designed to educate people on the dangers of fire and carbon monoxide poisoning while donating resources to communities across America. Most house fires are preventable with the right fire safety awareness and home safety products like smoke alarms. In fact, according to the National Fire Protection Association, almost 3 out of 5 home fire deaths are caused by fires in properties with no working smoke alarms. And according to the CDC, approximately 100,000 people go to the ER each year due to accidental carbon monoxide poisoning. Preparation is key to preventing fire and carbon monoxide tragedies and protecting yourself and loved ones. To learn more about Operation Save a Life and download safety education resources, please visit kidde.com.
Hey, Christmas is all about family. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Create wonderful memories and take your family to the magnificent Christmas Day buffet at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, voted the best supper club in the area. It's your favorite foods, including a prime rib carving station, all the sides, a huge dessert table, and it's all you care to eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 always eat for free. The Fox and Hounds is decorated with thousands of holiday lights and Christmas characters. It is magical. A true must-see. You'll feel the warmth of those 7 wood-burning fireplaces right away. Celebrate New Year's at the Fox and Hounds. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free, even on New Year's Eve. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive is beautiful. So don't cook and clean on Christmas Day. Enjoy your family and the incredible buffet at the famous Fox and Hounds. Reserve today. Tables fill quickly. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
I'm Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller. You know, at our home in Nebraska, we really love to decorate our Christmas tree. German immigrants brought the first Christmas trees to America. President Grover Cleveland brought the first illuminated tree to the White House lawn in 1895. Mannheim Steamroller and I have been part of that lighting ceremony twice now. What a great honor it was. But America's official Christmas tree isn't in Washington. It's actually a giant sequoia in California, growing at Kings Canyon National Park. It's estimated to be over 3,500 years old, older than Christmas itself, which, by the way, is only 5 days away now. And I'm Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller.
Brought to you by Epson. Add the Epson EcoTank printer to your holiday shopping list so you can fill and chill. Available at participating retailers and Epson.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
So I turned on the news last night, and they have a big graphic that literally says there is a 0% chance of snow this Christmas, and there's zeros everywhere. 0! And not just here, but even in the Northwoods. In the Northwoods, 91% of Christmases, they have an inch of snow on the ground. In Milwaukee, since the last 120 years, 48% of the time, so about half, 48% of the time, 59 times of those 120, we've had an inch of snow on the ground. So it's about half the time. But the caveat there is, in recent decades, it's been much less than that. It hasn't been 50% of the time. It's been most years we don't. The last time it snowed on Christmas, considerably, 2017, we got an inch and a half of snow.
So I'm looking at the extended outlook here. For Christmas, the forecast calls for a high of 50 degrees.
Yeah.
With a 58% chance of rain.
Rain.
And it's kind of a rain event, Christmas Eve through the 27th or so. But temperatures consistently between 44 and 50 degrees. So does this do anything to your mood? Does this alter your mood? Does it alter your sense of being in the holiday season and that it's Christmas time? That not only is there no snow, which has happened before, we've had a snow and then it's melted and there's been no snow for Christmas, but this is sort of a different level where it's sort of like a day in the 30s feels raw and like just terrible to live through. Like I'm so used to now 40s and 50s and we're hanging on to that with rain. Does it affect your in the holiday spirit sort of mood?
It doesn't. I like it warm. I'd be okay with snow on Christmas, but every day it's 50 degrees. Man, it's a day that I'm thinking, okay, that's one less day of cold this winter. It doesn't. If I'm hearing the Christmas music, which we're playing at home all the time, if I'm out and about, and there's the decorations up and the lights go on at the houses, no, it doesn't affect my mood at all. It doesn't. I think for some people it does, though. Does it you?
No, not me, because I'm like you, John. I sort of absorb all the other things that you're talking about that puts me in the spirit, right? You go into the grocery store and it's nicely decorated.
Yeah.
You go into a restaurant, right? They've got nice decorations up. Maybe the music and the setting sort of brings you there. The weather has nothing to do, for me, with Christmas. Now, my wife would argue the opposite. She wants a white Christmas.
Yeah.
Now, this year is very special because we have family who lives in Australia. And in April, you might remember my cousin Selena and her family visited from Tasmania, which is a state, southern island of Australia. And her sister is flying in on Fridays. We're picking them up from the airport and their family of 5. My aunt is already in town, my mom's cousin. And she has only seen snow 3 times in her life. And she is working desperately to try and make sure the weather gods can deliver a white Christmas. That Aunt Jan, it's not going to happen. And then she says something very polite in a funny accent, and we all have a good time.
You might want to drive her to Edmonton.
Seriously.
Because we're not going to have any snow
We're going to Whistler to get you your snow dream.
Yeah, it ain't going to be here.
So it got me to thinking, so how common is this to not have any snow on Christmas? So our friend Mark Baden did the work on this. Historical average is that 40% of the time, 47% of the time, we have a white Christmas. In the 2010s, it happened 4 times. In the aughts, 5 times. You have to go back to the 60s. That was sort of the record, where 7 times out of 10 years in the 60s, there was a white Christmas. Now, the difference is that means snowing on Christmas. There could already be snow on the ground. And we don't have that. Now, you could mow the lawn on Christmas.
Oh, for sure. I thought about mowing the lawn a couple of days ago. Didn't get my last cut in, and if it wasn't raining, I would have mowed the lawn.
It's starting to grow. That's the problem here.
I haven't switched yet where the lawnmower and the snowblower sit in my garage.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to mow again, but there's no sign of needing the snowblower.
It's
a shovel, a snowblower, it's nowhere. I bet for kids it's sad, right? If you want to get the sled out, you want to feel chilly out, you want to put your mittens on, you want to make a fort, you want to have a snowball fight. I get that, but man, for me, no, keep it like this all year.
It does not bother me one bit. I think if we want to go do the snow tubing thing, we'll head off to Sunburst and
you can
knock
do it.
that out. They're making snow. We'll still have a good time, and chances are it'll be warmer than usual occasions where we make that trip.
Yeah, and people seem to kind of agree with us. Unless they have kids, it seems like they don't care if there's no snow. There's half the country that never literally has a white Christmas.
Right.
And if you go south, that's a fun Christmas, and I love a Wisconsin Christmas, so we're here at Christmas. But if you go south, we did a couple of times, it's fun. The palm trees are decorated. It's a completely different vibe, though, when you're in flip-flops and shorts.
Right, you might be able to do that.
But it's okay if you're not layered up.
It really doesn't bother me at all. I'm guessing our fans would be mixed on this.
And they are.
My kids, they're young, and their language on Christmas is, where are my presents, right? And so it'll have nothing to do with Santa's ability to arrive at the house.
Yeah.
Your Christmas will be the same. It just won't be white stuff on the ground outside.
Yeah. Santa's magical. He always finds a way to get it done.
He certainly does.
Let's ask Niz about this. Brian Niznansky, meteorologist, will join us coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll ask him about white Christmas, maybe dive in a little bit of history. And I can tell you now, it's not happening here this year. 0% is what I saw. 0. It is 3:43 at WTMJ. Major Garrett, CBS's chief Washington correspondent, with us. Up next.
Going there first.
Got it.
When it comes to public safety in Milwaukee, no one knows it better than Annie Schwartz.
More often than not, when officers are hurt in a traffic crash, their vests actually save them.
Join WTMJ now Wednesday mornings at 9 for the Public Safety Hour. Annie will get you updated on the latest issues facing police, firefighters, and more.
One of the chiefs I used to work with always used to say was, first reports are always wrong.
It's the Public Safety Hour on WTMJ now.
Hey, radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. Let that sink in a little bit. Radon, you can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, you don't know just how rampant it is in your home. Well, this is where Lifetime Radon Solutions comes into view. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. The radon levels in our home were too high. Lifetime Radon Solutions had a test done for us. They also installed a mitigation system, and now we're back to radon neutral. That is the goal. Get the radon out of your house. It affects you every day you operate with it in your house, and you're likely to spend more time in your house during the wicked winter months. So if you have a basement, that's likely where it's entering your home. Get it taken care of with Lifetime Radon Solutions. They'll come out and run a free test. There are no strings attached. They'll do that for you. And if you need a mitigation system, they've got your back. 5-star reviews all over the place, statewide coverage. It's Lifetime Radon Solutions. I'm telling you, they are the best in the business. It's a clean, simple, and easy process from start to finish. And I've been through it myself. I promise you this. Lifetime Radon Solutions. Visit lifetimeradon.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
If you have $750,000 or more in retirement assets, you're close to being able to retire well. You've worked a lifetime to get there, and now with retirement in sight, every move matters. At Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists, we're just as serious about your retirement as you are. We are committed to helping people like you in the Milwaukee and Madison areas retire well. I'm Jeff Kowal, and over 30 years ago, we made the decision to help individuals plan for the retirement of their dreams. We operate under a fiduciary standard of care, putting our clients first to recommend personalized retirement plans. At Kowal Investment Group, your goals are our goals, and you always come first. That's the Kowal way. Call Kowal Investment Group at 262-522-4040 or visit thekowalway.com to get started today.
Jeff Kowal is a financial advisor offering securities through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC, and investment advisory services through RJFS Advisors, Inc. Kowal Investment Group is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the roads. Report incidents to the WTMJ HallMazdaMilwaukee.com traffic tip line 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda during Mazda's Season of Inspiration.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. We've got southbound on 41 starting to slow down a little bit more from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. Westbound 94, you're starting to slow down a bit as you're making your way from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 is backing up from about Silver Spring down to Locust. The northbound side slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe. So give yourself a little bit of extra time to get through there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 29 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 43. On Thursday, rain, a high of 45. On Friday, rain, a high of 45 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 34. Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. He is the voice and talent behind Agent of Betrayal, The Double Life of Robert Hansen, which is absolutely incredible. I finished it. Each episode's better than the one before it. You need to check it out. I listened on Apple, but you can listen to it anywhere you listen to your podcast. Major, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, John, and thank you for that. I'm really glad you enjoyed it.
I did. It's great stuff. Hey, I want to ask you about Nikki Haley. about polling, about what's happening. And with this preface, Donald Trump looks like he's going to win Iowa. But there, as you know better than I, have been many people who have won the presidency who have not won Iowa. I mean, Joe Biden finished 4th in Iowa in 2020. Right. So with that preface, I look ahead to New Hampshire, where she has gotten key endorsements. Nikki Haley, she seems to be consolidating some of the vote that won't go to Trump. Talk about New Hampshire and that dynamic.
So there's a phrase that New Hampshireites love to use, and this is Democrats and Republicans. And the phrase, which I've heard many, many times traveling through New Hampshire, is as follows. Iowa picks corn, New Hampshire picks presidents. New Hampshireites disdain choices made by Iowa and Iowa caucus voters and attendees. Not always, but many times. They don't follow the dictates or the momentum necessarily conferred by the Iowa caucuses. So let's just go briefly over recent Republican history. Mike Huckabee won the Iowa caucuses, didn't become the Republican nominee. Rick Santorum won the Iowa caucuses, didn't become the Republican nominee. Ted Cruz won the Iowa caucuses, did not become the Republican nominee. So this is particularly true for Republicans. Nikki Haley has not invested on the ground in Iowa. She will probably come in third there. It's a question of, is it a respectable third? Is it within viewing distance of former President Trump, who is the odds-on favorite to win Iowa? And from Iowa, what does she do in New Hampshire? She's got Governor Sununu's endorsement, but she has to have, if she succeeds in New Hampshire, and let's say she beats Trump, which would be a stretch right now, according to the polls, but let's say she does, there has to be another act, and that act will soon be rendered in South Carolina. So for Nikki Haley, it has to not just be New Hampshire, it has to be another act. And then, very rapidly, she has to build a national campaign out. The only person in this race on the Republican side who has an organized national campaign is former President Trump. He is deeply organized in all of the key states. He is well positioned for Super Tuesday. The state parties are aligned with him more closely than they were in 2016, and so is the national party. So remember that. Don't ever forget that as you're evaluating Trump's chances. He is still better organized state by state than anyone else in this race.
What is it about New Hampshire, Major? Is it more the timing of the event, and does the state fight to keep itself in that position?
Well, yeah, of course it does. It fights tenaciously for it, and that's why there's so much Democratic upset, because President Biden made South Carolina the first nominating primary, taking New Hampshire out of first in the nation, even though it's part of their law. They will still hold their primary, but it's a question, will the Democrats count the delegates, whatever. Republicans, it's all there, as it always has been, so it's an important primary. One of the things is New Hampshireites like the idea of either delivering a message or countering Iowa's sensibilities, and it's also an open primary. So that's why John McCain could do so well there, because some Democrats and independents could participate. Iowa is closed. Iowa is a partisan event. You can't be an independent or a late arrival and just switch parties and participate in the Iowa caucuses. You can in New Hampshire. So there's a dynamic there that makes New Hampshire distinctly different from Iowa.
Major Garrett is with us. So, Major, you brought up South Carolina. Nikki Haley, very popular in South Carolina. The former governor is still revered in most of South Carolina, especially in the population centers, places like Charleston. Is it enough, if she were not to win New Hampshire, to still bank on South Carolina, or is it too late if she doesn't do well in New Hampshire?
Very difficult, and the politics of South Carolina are complicated. Tim Scott was in this race, and it was always unclear whether Tim Scott or Nikki Haley would be the favorite son or daughter of South Carolina. Former President Trump is deeply well-positioned in South Carolina. His statewide leadership team is basically populated by all the most visible current public office holders in South Carolina. So again, Trump is well-positioned there. But a win in New Hampshire might make Nikki Haley more of a favorite daughter, if you will, in South Carolina and alter that dynamic. And here's the one thing we have to keep in mind. There is and there has been around former President Trump, because his campaign loves it and tries to increase awareness of it and absorption of this every minute of every day. He's inevitable. He's inevitable. This race is over. Let's get on with the Joe Biden conversation. I'm going to be the nominee. If that cracks, if that perception cracks, and Republicans start saying, well, maybe he won't be the nominee, what does that break loose? The simple answer to that is no one knows. And no one knows what Trump will do under those pressurized conditions. And that's the great variable of this campaign. If Trump wins Iowa and wins New Hampshire, forget about it. That crack won't appear. But if somebody wins New Hampshire, or if Trump doesn't win Iowa by as much as he's expected to, then these perceptions could change. That can break things open. People can imagine a different reality, and Trump might act in a way that people either don't like or don't expect, and that could change the dynamic.
In Major, Wisconsin, of course, a battleground state. President Biden will be in Wisconsin tomorrow in Milwaukee. Any insight into the timing of his visit? I always find that to be as curious as the message.
So I would say the timing isn't particularly important right now. Timing for political candidates is very important leading up to events, but he wants to be present in the Midwest for sure. He wants to animate conversations about him in Wisconsin. Everywhere in the upper Midwest, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin for sure. Everyone knows that. And I'm not exactly sure what the resonance of this particular meeting or this particular event is, but I guarantee you the Biden reelection campaign and its surrogates will be making many, many traces through Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin for all of the understood fundamental blocking and tackling reasons of a reelection campaign. What's your message? Who's your messengers? And is it resonating? And if it isn't, send more messengers, send more messaging, and get your people energized.
I know you're traveling a lot for work, Major. Public service announcement. We look out for our friends here. Christmas is in less than a week. How are you feeling? How are you situated?
Oh, I'm great. Santa's Workshop has been working feverishly. I'm pretty much all good with my list. The first batch of Christmas cards went out. John, yours is on the way.
Oh,
you have
nice.
the most complicated address of any friend or family member I know.
Yeah, it is a Wisconsin
the world's most
address.
complicated address, okay? I had to look at it 14 times just to get it right.
I appreciate it.
So I'm good. And in case anyone is curious or interested, I'll be anchoring for Nora O'Donnell, the CBS Evening News, all the way before Christmas, right after Christmas, and leading up to New Year's and on New Year's Day and a couple days thereafter.
Oh, excellent. When's your first day doing that?
I'll be working through the holidays.
When's your first day at the desk?
It will be this Friday.
All right.
And then Christmas Day, and then Thursday and Friday before New Year's, and New Year's Day and the day after.
Well, the best gift you could give any of us is to come up with another podcast.
There you go.
Because Agent of Betrayal is absolutely spectacular. So maybe you can get your crack team on
I
that.
had thought about doing this. I've not approached Major with this idea, but I think it's wise for us in 2024, Major, to explore a Fletch and Fletch Lives podcast. You and I could do it, have some of the former characters on it.
No.
Like, just think about the traction that would take. Yes, this is genius. We speak fluent Fletch.
I'm not a lawyer, but I think that's a violation of my rights.
Oh,
here we go.
What kind of name is Poon? All right.
Major, I'm sorry we're out of time.
I am too.
Have a great Christmas.
Have a great Christmas, everyone. Be
It
well.
is 3:56 at WTMJ.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring great tips on how to operate your home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and standing up for victims to take the burden off your shoulders. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here, talking about Gruber Law Offices. You've known them for decades, right? You've seen the commercials. You know the tagline, one call, that's all. It's true. It is not a gimmick. They are locally known and nationally recognized, getting results. Results that speak for themselves. David and his team are fantastic. It's a family-run business. Son Stephen has a prominent role as well. Nancy works in the office, David's wife. Great people, Midwest values, and one of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest. And no fee. Consult them to help them. If you've been hurt in an accident, they will represent you fairly. And there is never a fee until they win your case. It's Gruber Law Offices. Check out gruber-law.com or call 414-276-6666.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Fredert Health and ThedaCare have finalized their merger agreement and will launch as a single organization on January 1st. No money exchanged hands, and the combined health system says it doesn't anticipate any layoffs. Big B Coffee plans to open in the former Starbucks space at Red Arrow Park in downtown Milwaukee. It could be open by summer 2024. The new coffee shop would be locally owned and will lease the space from Milwaukee County. Milwaukee real estate firm Marquee Capital recently bought a shopping center in Kentucky in what was the firm's largest deal to date in terms of acquisition cost and square footage. Marquee Capital is part of Marcus Investments, run by the family behind the Marcus Corporation. I'm Teddy Nykel with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service, luxurious accommodations, and an unmatched standard for excellence. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at the Pfister. Enjoy fine dining at Mason Street Grill and Cafe at the Pfister. Pamper yourself with a service from the Well Spa and Salon. Take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations at thepfisterhotel.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Excel Concrete Coatings, the family-owned company that transformed my garage and will give your concrete surface a brand new look, feel, and function. Colder weather, perfect time to redo your commercial space with a beautiful new coating on your concrete floor. Or one of my buddies here got the scary old laundry room redone. And with Excel Concrete Coatings, it's quite affordable. Most projects start as low as $1,500. Call the owners of Excel Concrete Coatings directly. That's Greg and Luann. ExcelConcreteCoatings.com.
There's an inviting holiday chill waiting for you at your local Merle Norman. Our holiday 2023 color collection is available now, featuring a gift-worthy opalized palette filled with 9 limited edition soft touch shadows. Pair your palette with 3 shades of crisp candy cane scented tinted lip balm, including neutral cashmere cream, a dimensional plum shimmer, and red sangria cream. Shop all holiday limited editions while supplies last at Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa at Brookfield Square.
Shop Steinhafels and get a Queen Tempur-Pedic mattress for just $52 per month when you use Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Shop in-store and online at steinhafels.com. Steinhafels is your mattress destination.
Griffin's Holiday Service Special, $179.95 for an oil change, tire rotation, air filter, wiper blades, multi-point inspection, battery check, and heating inspection. Visit any of our 5 Griffin dealerships. 'Tis the season for savings. See Griffin for details.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
I got spurs that jingle, jangle.
San Antonio steps into Fiserv form against the Bucks.
Middleton from straight on, bangs home the 3. What a play. Giannis lays it in with a foul.
With coverage starting tonight at 6 with Buck Shoot Around on your home of the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 4:01, I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a deal upheld.
I'm Greg Matzik. Looking to the future, case by case.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we got an issue. Northbound 41, right about at North Avenue. The 2 right lanes are blocked right now. Delays are already starting to stretch all the way back to Wisconsin Avenue, so do be prepared for that. On the ramp from Highway T to eastbound 94 in Waukesha County has a broken down vehicle. Looks like we might have a blocked lane, the far right lane, just past Highway T, so something to keep in mind there as well. Southbound on 43, slowing from before Silver Spring all the way down to Locust. Northbound from just north of Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 29 degrees. The clouds stick around tomorrow with a high of 43. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a Republican-controlled legislative committee has now approved pay raises for the University of Wisconsin system employees after months of holding up the wage increases. The Joint Committee on Employment Relations voting 5-1 today to increase employees' base salaries by 4% this year and 2% next July. The raises apply to about 35,000 UW system employees. The Journal Sentinel reports that despite the deal, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos struck with UW officials over campus diversity programs. Vos says even further scrutiny of DEI programs is needed.
Well, 2024 will be a year of major decisions for the Wisconsin Supreme Court, including one expected on abortion.
Right now, we don't have any real direction, even as lower courts, on what would be and wouldn't be permissible.
Retired Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Mary Kuhnmensch tells WTMJ now a lot needs to be clarified about abortions in Wisconsin.
Whether anyone's allowed to have it, under what circumstances, the role of doctors and privacy, none of that is settled at all in the state of Wisconsin.
Kuhnmensch says she does expect that clarity is coming soon.
I would believe that given the makeup of this court, that they're going to tackle that issue first.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
While the U.S. pressures Israel to minimize civilian casualties in Gaza, the State Department says its top priority is freeing hostages held there.
The U.S. estimates Hamas is still holding 8 American hostages after that October terror attack. And the U.S. says the Secretary of State's working every day to free them.
Every phone call he's had with leaders in the region, it is always one of the first things he mentions. And that's true not just for him, but for others in the government.
State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller saying the U.S. is working through Qatar and other allies who then talk with Hamas negotiators. Andy Field, ABC News.
Decision Wisconsin, a pair of high-profile visits scheduled in the Badger State. President Biden will be in Milwaukee tomorrow to discuss his economic agenda. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris will campaign on women's health here in the state. Details regarding her visit currently being held under wraps.
The Bucks' longest homestand of the season continues tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. Coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. Milwaukee 19-7 on the season. The Spurs are 4-21. And in college basketball, 6th-ranked Marquette begins Big East play tonight on the road at Providence. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN with coverage beginning at 7 o'clock.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 4:05.
It's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Panoramic CBD. Whether you're looking to reduce anxiety, pain, depression, or just need to relax, Panoramic CBD has the best products for everyone's needs. They farm, process, test, and package their own CBD products, hence the slogan from soil to oil. By overseeing every stage of the process, Panoramic CBD eliminates the middleman, ensuring unmatched quality throughout. To offer you the best CBD products at the best prices for you and your pets. Shop local. Shop Wisconsin. From soil to oil, PanoramicCBD.com.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores has once again been voted the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's Best in Thrift. So to all our loyal customers who voted for us, thank you. And to all who haven't been here yet, we know we have a treasure or two that will intrigue you. And at thrift store prices, you know you're going to get a great deal. And at the same time, you'll be helping us help others. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
The president of James Imaging Systems, Tom Tegeter.
As the end of 2023 approaches, I'm grateful for the entire James Imaging Systems team. So thank you for your steadfast commitment and incredible work ethic to help our clients turn challenges into opportunities. Opportunities that help them succeed. I also extend my gratitude to our clients for the trust and confidence you've placed in James Imaging Systems as your local business technology partner. It's an honor to play a small part in helping you grow and plan for a better, more rewarding 2024. Finally, as we spend time with others during this holiday season, I believe that if we display the positive energy of gratitude, we'll provide our community with a foundation of grace on which to build a brighter and successful future. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless America.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Retirement doesn't have to be complicated. Are you sick of all the fancy charts and investment mumbo-jumbo thrown at you to justify the Wall Street fees you're being charged? It's not the size of your nest egg that matters, but rather the income it can produce. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and star in a brand new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception. In this film, we traveled over 20,000 miles interviewing real Americans who have retired successfully with a great lifestyle and peace of mind. They share their stories on how they get more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and the money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right, if the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even the super wealthy are shifting money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better, stress-free retirement, call today to talk to a specialist and get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Retirement Deception. Call 800-857-7979. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free. Plus, I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 800-857-7979. 800-857-7979. That's 800-857-7979.
Hi,
Hi, it's Samantha, and I'm here spreading cheer with Heiser's Holiday Happenings. Get incredible deals on our new and used vehicles, discounts on our service parts and accessories. We also have in-store holiday cheer, and we have events, plus special bonuses and giveaways. There are new sets of offers each week, so make sure you visit Heiser.com for all of the details. And hurry in, because offers end December 31st. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right. Hey, if you're traveling somewhere, you probably know, especially if you're traveling overseas, how difficult it's been to get a passport and how long the waits have been to get a passport. And you pointed out to me this morning, Greg, that passport times are pretty much back to normal. Is that right?
So we got passports for our daughters about a year ago. So we had a trip to the Bahamas in February. So we try to get as far ahead of it as possible. And I think somewhere midsummer we ended up, getting it all done. And it's definitely a process. It's not, terribly long and exhausting, but you have steps along the way. But you have to give yourself X many months. And there's always guidelines, and the post office will even tell you wherever you get your passport photo, the recommended amount of time you want to be in advance. We ended up getting the girls' passports back, and Emily needed hers renewed. We ended up getting them back in about 11 weeks.
Okay.
Which felt long to me. Like I forget they arrived, and I was like, oh, geez, here we go. We got what we need.
Well, that is long. That's almost 4 months.
We had plenty of time, but we got it. So now it's back to 6 to 8 weeks. So that is more routine time to get a passport. 2 to 3 weeks for expedited service if you want to do that. That'll cost you an additional $60. So the processing time is back to being routine for those who need a passport. However, there is nothing routine about global entry. So if you have the passport and want to double down and have global entry, you get that fancy little card. It's like the international version of TSA PreCheck. You can get conditionally approved in the matter of a day, just filling out an online form. But after you get that conditional approval, you've got to find a place where you can go through your final test.
An in-person interview is part of what they require.
Oh, my God, it's insane to try and pull this off. So Milwaukee has one testing site at General Mitchell International Airport, and appointments are full through the end of February, and you can't sign up for anything additional. There's no calendar that goes into March where you can sort of pick your day. And I think it was toward the back end of summer, maybe early fall, that they set up sort of a pop-up stand, for lack of a better term, at the airport. And if you were conditionally approved, you could show up and get it done right there. No appointment necessary. Show up, and they'll knock you out of the park.
Yep.
So now the closest site to go visit is in Chicago at O'Hare. And I think they've got an opportunity on January 17th. That's their next appointment. But you can understand the difficulty there. Right? So your passport might come back in a normal amount of time. You could expedite it, a couple of weeks perhaps. But if you want to do the global entry thing, you're going to have to really try and make that work. And you're probably not going to make it work in Wisconsin before your trip.
And they make PreCheck easy to get. It's easy to get your PreCheck if you want TSA PreCheck. And they push that all the time at the airport. If you fly far away and you come back into somewhere, and we come back all different places. The last time we came back into the United States, our first entry point was New York. If you don't have global entry, it is a major, major pain, and it takes a long time. If you have global entry, it's like TSA PreCheck. You go to one area, there's no line, it's expedited, you get through there fast. If you don't have global entry, in some places where you come, by the way, O'Hare is like this at some times of the day, too. If you fly in there without global entry and you have to go through customs without that, it can take you, instead of 10 minutes, 2 hours, literally. That's the difference if you don't have global entry. And you're right, they haven't made it easy. So when I had to renew my global entry, same thing. You have to go for an interview. And I looked and looked and looked in Milwaukee, and there was nothing available. There was nothing. I looked in Madison. I looked in Green Bay. Nothing. One day I looked, and I saw, hey, tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning, there's one appointment at O'Hare. And so I grabbed it, and then I drove down to O'Hare. And then once I was there, it was easy, a piece of cake. But then Michelle was looking after that. Nothing. There's nothing available. People, Greg, are literally, if they're flying far away, they're routing their travel through places like Bismarck, North Dakota, so that they can get a TSA,
right?
An appointment to get global entry.
No, I get it. So why is that? I guess that's my biggest question. the airport does this pop-up flash day, and you show up, and I mean, it's like a flood of people to try and get this done because they know how difficult it is and how inconvenient it is. Are there just not enough resources being committed to do this where you could book it in Milwaukee into the month of March? Right now it's full, and there is no additional appointments being made. I don't understand why it's such a challenge to get it done in the state of Wisconsin.
You know what a guy told me when I was struggling to get mine done, and at Honor Flight, I was at the airport, and we know the TSA guys, because, you've been on an Honor Flight. You don't go through security. TSA takes care of us. I asked the TSA guy, why can't I get global entry appointments here? He said, to be honest with you, there's staffing shortages, and there's no advantage to the people in Milwaukee. If you work in TSA in Milwaukee, people don't go through customs in Milwaukee. So the nice thing to do would be to offer it here, to offer the interviews here, but they don't see the benefit. So they don't put a lot of priority into it. They just don't set appointments. They don't have people that do interviews here because selfishly on their part, people don't use it here. So no one's going to scream at them if they can't get a global entry appointment, but they will scream at them if they need to wait in line more than 7 minutes to get through security to go to Houston.
Well, I suppose if you have international in your airport, maybe you kind of have to do something.
You got to cater to that.
Right, do something, but they are clearly not going above and beyond.
Yeah, they're not. It's frustrating, though. Glad you got your passports, though.
Your passport's all good, and I'm conditionally approved for global entry, so is my wife. So we're doing something right. We just need to take that final step.
They do offer interview appointments sometimes in Madison and Green Bay, too, but it's similar to Milwaukee. Not a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, man, check all those places.
No, I got to hunt. If anybody's got a tip or a lead, hit me up, man. We got to get this done.
Yeah. Can you do black market global entry?
I'm sure that would go over well.
Rush approved, Greg. It's 4:14 at WTMJ. Green and Gold Insiders with Homer. This ought to be fun because Homer is on the East Coast with Marquette's men's basketball team, and he's with us up next.
Officially closing the book on a 25-year career. Congratulations to Jeff Wagner and his retirement. However, this isn't the last you'll hear of Jeff. Keep it tuned for our Best of Jeff Wagner compilations, airing every day from noon to 3 for the rest of the year. A tribute to the illustrious career, remembered with the best moments from the Jeff Wagner Show, every day from noon to 3. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
Hey, Christmas is all about family. You know that. Create wonderful memories and take your family to the magnificent Christmas Day buffet at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, voted the best supper club in the area. It's your favorite foods, including a prime rib carving station, all the delicious sides, a huge dessert table. It's all you care to eat. And kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. The Fox and Hounds is decorated with thousands of holiday lights and Christmas characters. It's magical. It's a must-see. I'm going to the Fox and Hounds, as a matter of fact, later this week. You'll feel the warmth of those 7 wood-burning fireplaces right away when you walk in the door. Celebrate New Year's Eve at the Fox and Hounds. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free, even on New Year's Eve. The Fox and Hounds is just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. Beautiful drive, gorgeous restaurant. Don't cook and clean on Christmas Day. Enjoy your family and the incredible buffet at the Fox and Hounds. Man, they've got a great buffet. Reserve today. Tables fill quickly. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Discount real estate brokers sell all kinds of homes. Southside bungalows, Lake Country estates, and everything in between. We're living proof of that. We found the term full service goes really well with the word discount. Who wouldn't want full service at a discount? Especially a home seller looking for serious real estate expertise, potent online home marketing, and quality photography, all at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you'll get full service for less. Benefit-realty.com. Don't knock it till you've tried it. That's what I told him when he was skeptical of hiring a discount real estate agent. But after a while, he believed me, and it turned out to be the fastest home sale I've ever made. Now, I can't promise you the lightning quick sale I made for this client, but I can promise you full service for less. So let's talk about your home. And with the money you save with an only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission, you can laugh all the way to the bank. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you'll get full service for less. Benefit-realty.com.
Traffic sponsored by Roto-Rooter, the sewer and drain experts you've trusted for over 85 years.
Roto-Rooter can locate underground pipes without digging up your yard. Roto-Rooter keeps your pipes free of debris.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
GetRoto.net.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. Things getting a little bit complicated right now. Northbound on 41, right about at North Avenue, we've got an accident, and the two right lanes are blocked. So we've got backups coming out of the Zoo interchange, so be prepared for that. Southbound side, we do also have some delays. Basically, folks slowing down to take a look at what's going on the other side. So the slowdown starting from just north of Hampton Avenue down all the way to about Watertown Plank. And we do have another issue on northbound 43 right at the ramp from Highland. The right lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle, so that's going to be bogging things down as well. So give yourself some extra time heading through there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ forecast tonight, partly cloudy, low 29. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 43. On Thursday, mostly cloudy, chance for rain, a high of 45. And on Friday, chance for rain, a high of 45. In Milwaukee right now, partly sunny and 33 degrees.
It's time for Green and Gold Insiders on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Hey, let's bring in our guy, Homer, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. ESPN Milwaukee, he's also the voice of Marquette men's basketball. As a matter of fact, he's with the team in Rhode Island, which I believe is a really underrated state. Been there a couple of times. Homer, how are you?
Well, I'm fine. I don't know why. I mean, it's probably underrated by everyone because it's rated so poorly. I don't. I like coming to Providence. It's a great arena, great fans, but I don't.
You wouldn't vacation
My knowledge
there,
of Providence is that the mob has always lived here. Like I guess
Pawtucket is nice, Homer.
Okay,
really, it is. It's a nice little city.
How was it getting there, Homer? Were you flying in the middle of that? What is it called? The bomb cyclone?
Yeah.
No,
Are you okay?
Avoided that. Though I spent a couple days in Florida. I think it was Saturday, where the sun never came out 1 second. It's probably the worst day I've ever been in Florida. But avoided the that, and so got in here without any problem whatsoever. Last night, and appears good right now. So,
how are the boys looking out there? They're up a spot, I see in the poll.
Yeah, I never go to practice, never go to shoot around, and so I can't really tell how they're doing. I had my first conversation with Tyler Kolek in a long time, but I've always enjoyed his. He's kind of the new Travis Diener, and the debate has been. Somebody asked me who's better, and I said Diener. They go, well, you can't say that. Well, I said, you asked me. And so he asked me, did you really say Diener was better than me? I go, yeah, he's better than you. But you're getting close, and you can do two things he never did. And one is, it's incredible how well Tyler Kolek rebounds. Like, they need him to rebound. I mean, I can't remember a point guard, maybe Tony Smith, who was kind of a point guard, but he's a great rebounder, and he has the hardest passes as a point guard I've ever seen. I call him the Nolan Ryan pass, where from anywhere, he whips it so fast, the defenders just are a little late to get there because they're just not anticipating and do that. So, but I mean, he's really good. The Big East, he's won more awards than Travis Diener did. So, I was just amused that he goes. It's kind of like him. So you said Travis Diener was better than me? Yeah, that's what I said. And then I go, I'm 69 years old. I'm an old man. You could tell me the same thing you told the people when they said that that Marquette was going to be ninth in the Big East. What do I know? But he didn't. He said, oh, okay. He was more pleasant about it than I thought. And I said, by the way, for any player to be viewed, in my mind, as in the Travis Diener group, that's an incredible high mark, regardless of who finishes higher. That's a neighborhood the whole world wants to be in. I don't know. I'd have to think of all the other point guards at Marquette that I've been doing since '89, and Travis Diener's right at the top.
Well, see if you can throw a large or a Nolan Ryan pass at the Providence Friar mascot, the creepiest mascot in all of college sports. There's not even a close second. If you're driving around, pull off to the side of the road and look up the Providence Friar mascot. I want to bring
odd. Yes, I would
very
agree
strange.
with you then.
Very creepy.
Yes,
all right, so here's all the news out of Green Bay. So a tweet sent by linebacker Devondre Campbell today, Homer. I want to read it to you. Packers linebacker, leader, veteran on the defense, says this today in response to something, obviously. Quote, not going out of my way anymore, and I'm not playing through injuries anymore, because when blank goes wrong, they always use it against you. I'm treating everyone accordingly and giving them the same energy they're giving me. Focus on yourself and your mental. 59, you owe it to yourself. I don't know who specifically this is in response to, but what's your takeaway?
Well, it's, again, I think something that teams have to address, and that is players that are just obsessed with how they're viewed in social media. I assume that that's what he's addressing, and that they care as much as they do drives me crazy. I'd like to do some research on if somebody's that affected by social media, I don't want them on the team. But it may be that everybody's affected by social media, and I don't want to have a terrible team. But I just don't get it. But he's upset about what people have said about him, and the only thing that could be is on social media, right? I mean, I don't think he's the listening. And probably, this is the other part that's odd, probably more than ever, he's taking less blame than maybe he should because everybody's blaming Joe Barry, right? I mean, there's no, well, how did he play? Well, he didn't play well, but I mean, Barry's blamed for everything but the wars. I haven't heard anything that he's the cause of the current worldwide wars we have, but
not yet.
Other than
that's
that,
coming.
Not official.
That's coming. Yeah.
Not official. Yeah, very good. Not official. So that's what makes it think anybody who's on the Packer defense should know they're incredibly lucky because you almost get no blame whatsoever. It all goes to Barry. And I want to emphasize the reason he didn't get fired is the fact that prior to the last two games, they were like 11th in points given up. And I don't care what anybody says. The idea is don't give up points. Well, they weren't. Now, those who said, Homer, it's going to get ugly, he's not that good. Now, those people were right because now they're 17th. But the reason he didn't get fired is for most of the year, he was doing a good job. That ranking of 11th is like the second best in the last 15 years if he would have kept it. So now you have two bad games, and you're not doing so great, and it may be that he's done at the end of the year. But the reason he didn't get fired is because no one is willing to admit, especially given the last two, that he was doing a better than average job. There are 32 teams. If you're 11th in points given up, and I know everybody has a number of other statistics, and that's fine, but they can't have a scoreboard for a reason. And if the teams aren't scoring many points against you, for whatever, maybe I don't know. So that's why I think he still has a job.
He is Homer, 5 to 6, ESPN Milwaukee, and he's the voice of the Marquette basketball team.
Is my time over? Because if it is,
yeah.
I want to know, Greg, what you think about what DeAndre Campbell said. I know you have your 2-hour show with Gary Ellerson. Maybe you addressed it last night, but I mean, this year's the worst year I've ever had of analyzing any team. Every time I think they're good, then they're bad. And when I think they're bad, then they're good. I keep track, and it's been impossible to figure out which team is going to show up. But what's your 30 seconds on what Campbell said?
In a snapshot, my first reaction was Devondre is frustrated with how Matt LaFleur addressed the media in defending Joe Barry, calling it assignment issues and issues with where the defense was lined up, more or less throwing the players under the bus when I don't believe the players are in lockstep with Joe Barry in terms of his scheme. I don't think they believe in his scheme. I think they prefer to play for somebody else on the defense.
And may have felt that even before the year started, right?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that's the case with Jair Alexander. He and Joe Barry did not see eye to eye.
Sorry to take too much time, but I appreciate you doing that for me. I'll feel a little bit smarter going into the Homer.
I'll do anything for you, Homer. You know that.
Thank you.
Have a good call tonight, Homer.
Yep.
It is 4:26 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green today. The S&P, another nice day, up 28 points. The Dow up 251 to 37,557. The NASDAQ up 98 points. It's over 15,000, 15,003. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Small business owners can make a little of anything go a long way.
It's true. My bakery is made up of a little sugar, spice, and edible glitter.
Well, that's why U.S. Cellular is offering small businesses lines for as little as $19.99, plus $300 off any phone.
That's great. A little does go a long way. Unless we're talking sprinkles, everyone always needs more sprinkles.
Oh, of course. Get lines for $19.99 plus $300 off any phone today. U.S. Cellular. Built for business. Built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Commercial insurance continues to get more complex. Here's Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Thanks, Vince. Is your business a target today?
Cybercrime and ransomware attacks are creating chaos for business owners today. A couple of our area's most revered brands were recently hit, causing massive business disruptions. Legal system abuse, including attorney advertising and third-party litigation funding, are driving liability and auto insurance costs up significantly. Are you confident your insurance agent understands these issues and is properly protecting your business? Business insurance can no longer just be an expense line item on your income statement. Your insurance program must be part of a more strategic discussion.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
Sharing market insights and their related impact while laying out the best options for your business are what R&R Insurance does best. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
If you can't get a good night's sleep, let me ask you, are you breathing well? Because if you're snoring or waking up each night with a stuffed up nose or frustrated with your CPAP mask, the root of your sleep problem lies in your breathing triangle. And if any one of those passages isn't working, you won't sleep well. And there's no mattress, pill, or other gimmick that can fix that. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. A recipe for a good night's sleep starts with an open airway. Now, there are devices that can help solve snoring or sleep apnea problems. If you walk into a sleep center, know you'll walk out with a CPAP. And you might find other options elsewhere, but the simple truth is, if your nose doesn't work properly, no device will help. Only at Advent will you find every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution, along with a world-class team that can get your nose working properly again.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Sweet, flaky, and utterly delicious. That's the famous Kringle from O&H Danish Bakery. Guaranteed to get you on the nice list, O&H Danish Bakery can deliver that heavenly goodness right to your doorstep. Now that's a memorable gift where you know you've nailed it. And it arrives fresh in just 2 business days, anywhere within the country. Order online today, ohdanishbakery.com, or come on in to O&H Danish Bakery in Racine, Oak Creek, or Sturtevant and taste the difference of bakery made from scratch.
Traffic sponsored by Wettiger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Visit pressureisoff.biz. Wettiger Compressor salutes business owners who put the I can in American while treating their customers right.
Call up the boys at Wettiger Compressor.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. Your top story: an end to the holdup.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Things are getting more complicated out there. Right now, we've got an accident on 41 northbound at North Avenue, blocking the 2 right lanes. Now on the southbound side at Watertown Plank Road, we've got the center lane blocked with broken down vehicle, as well as one in Ozaukee County. This is on northbound 43, right about at Highland. The right lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle there as well. We're going to find all those spots pretty slow. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly cloudy skies tonight, a low of 28. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and mild. The high will be 42. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a Republican-controlled legislative committee now approving raises for University of Wisconsin system employees after months of holding up those pay raises. The Joint Committee on Employment Relations voting 5-1 to increase UW Systems employees' base salaries by 4% this year, 2% by next July. That is a total of 6%. The raises apply to about 35,000 UW System employees. The Journal Sentinel reports that despite the deal, Assembly Speaker Robin Voss struck with UW officials over campus diversity programs that cleared the way for these approvals. Voss says even further scrutiny of DEI programs is needed. A violent weekend in Milwaukee, 9 people shot, 2 killed, as well as 2 stabbings. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson calling this unacceptable, but says he's hopeful because of the city's investments of more resources in public safety that it will improve. The mayor also telling WTMJ Now he continues to ask state lawmakers for help.
I wish that we were able to change gun law here locally. We're not, so we have to continue to push the legislature in that direction.
Despite the recent violence, homicides are down 23% from 2022. Non-fatal shootings also down as well. Decision Wisconsin, a pair of high-profile visits scheduled in the Badger State, President Biden will be in Milwaukee tomorrow to discuss his economic agenda. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris is going to campaign on women's health here in Wisconsin. Details regarding her visit currently kept under wraps. We'll keep you updated right here on WTMJ on all the campaign details. The Milwaukee Archdiocese says it is open to giving pastoral blessings to anyone who is seeking God's help. This after Pope Francis declared priests can bless same-sex couples. Archbishop Jerome Listecki telling WTMJ.
What the Pope did is he just clarified in response to the question, can a priest offer a blessing that's requested of him? And certainly he can.
Listecki says the Pope's declaration does not change the Church's teachings on marriage. Tragedy in Waupaca County. 4 siblings killed in a drunk driving crash over the weekend. Police say Scott Farmer of Neenah was driving the wrong way on Highway 10 when he hit the victim's SUV. The judge setting his cash bond at $750,000. The victim's stepfather, Kurt Schilling, telling reporters wasn't high enough.
A known felon who has done this multiple times has the ability, possibly economically, to get out of jail again.
Schilling says the siblings were on their way home from a shopping trip when they were hit. Farmer is due back in court next week. And a major merger in Wisconsin healthcare now official. Froedtert Health and ThedaCare announcing this afternoon their 2 systems have finalized the merger agreement. They're planning to launch the combined health system on January 1st. Longtime Froedtert Health president and CEO Kathy Jacobson will initially assume the role of CEO for the new organization. She will retire after a 6-month transition period. ThedaCare's president and CEO Imran Andrabi will then take over and be in charge of the combined system. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 4:34.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
The pain was so bad I could barely walk. And now after stem cell treatment, I run marathons.
Now this is an exaggeration, but I do hear about unbelievable miracle outcomes. And I have to ask, do you really believe them? If they were true, these biological treatments wouldn't even have to be advertised. Truth is, stem cell effectiveness is nowhere near 100%. It's expensive, and it doesn't last. At Rejuvenix, our FDA-approved pharmacological treatments ease inflammation and reduce pain. They're precisely administered to where your pain lives, and they work. Will the pain reduction last forever? No. But in some cases, relief has lasted as long as 24 months, and in most cases, insurance has paid for the treatments entirely. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenix Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert here to report mortgage rates continue their downward trend. Low overhead AccuNet can now deliver a 6.89% APR on a $225,000 30-year fixed rate loan with 25% down, top-notch credit, and all the other right stuff. Our special 30-year fixed rate money for first-time Wisconsin homebuyers is now down to 6.125% with an APR as low as 6.29 and as little as 3% down. Household income limits apply. Now, a lot of homebuyers hit pause during the holiday season, but may be missing out. We just helped one of our rock-solid pre-approved first-time buyers get an accepted offer $49,000 under the asking price and lock in some of that special 30-year fixed money at a 6.19 APR. Household income limits apply. With rates back down, home shoppers are going to be coming out of the woodwork in the new year. So whether you're just starting your home search or you're ready to get back at it, go with the local mortgage experts at AccuNet and get ahead of the pack by clicking on the blue button today at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Garage door broke. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis. Need a new garage door. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new CHI maintenance-free garage door. In fact, a recent study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%, ranking #1 among all home improvement projects. To see our huge selection of doors, come visit us at our Brookfield location or view our online showroom at geisdoors.com. We have everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, call Geis at 262-784-4250 or visit us online at geisdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Billboard's top songs of 2023 are out, John. These are the songs that top the charts, the top 100, right, as they call it in Billboard. It's been around for years and decades, and that is the name. You hear Billboard, you know you're talking about the best in music for a period of time. And for 2023, the top 2 songs include...
I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand.
Miley Cyrus's Flowers song is number 2 on the list. Billboard Top 100 Songs of the Year for 2023.
I can take myself dancing.
Yeah, we all can. That's right, John.
That's
This is
nice.
number 2 on the list. The number 1 song on the Billboard list is from country artist Morgan Wallen.
Last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we
Turn that
said
down, please.
it all.
Okay, country's not your jam,
No,
is it, John?
get that out of here.
Okay,
No.
well, Billboard also compiles a weekly top 100, right? It's not just for a month or for a calendar year or a quarter or anything like that. No, they get into the weeds a little bit, and they bring you a weekly top 100. And heading into Christmas, no surprise, the songs of the year this holiday season, or really the week, have a holiday flavor.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow.
So Burl Ives' Holly Jolly
but have a
Christmas.
cup of cheer.
And this song goes back forever, right?
Yeah.
It is now, because of its number 5 ranking in the Billboard Top 100 this week, has been in the Billboard charts 37 weeks since its existence.
Wow.
Presumably, every time the holidays come around, this gets back into the top 10 or top 5.
For the week, yeah.
Burl Ives'
For a week.
Holly Jolly Christmas is number 5 on that list. Number 4.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
Now, we can debate the merits of Wham's
I
Last
like this
Christmas,
song.
right? You do.
I do. I do.
It's not very Christmassy to me.
No, I agree.
Nothing really about Wham or George Michael is very Christmassy to me, I guess. But
I like their
nonetheless.
music, though.
Okay. Well, it's back. It is number 4
Okay.
on the list, Last Christmas. The 36th week it's been in the Billboard charts. Again, holidays come around, and you can't get through the holidays without hearing the song, whether you like it or not.
You've been whammed.
Yes, something like
Okay,
that.
yep.
Another timeless classic.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell.
Do you know the artist?
I do not.
Bobby Helms.
Oh, okay.
Right. I mean, this goes back to like 1726. I mean, this is an old song.
Yeah, Paul Revere sang this song.
54 years, or 54 weeks, I should say, it's been on the charts, presumably for 54 years, because, again, once a year, this makes its debut or resurrects itself. Number 2.
Brenda Lee.
There you go.
Rocking around.
Okay, now this is a good Christmas song.
Yes.
This is one of very few good Christmas songs.
We're not doing that conversation.
Okay, again, 85% of Christmas music is awful.
25%.
This fits, though. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee.
Okay.
It's actually down. This was the number 1 song last year at this time. In fact, it was the number 1 song last week. Amazingly. Brenda Lee's Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. 56 weeks it's been on the Billboard charts. The number 1 song, Billboard Top 100 this week. 63 weeks it's been on the charts since it became a song back in the 90s. I'm sorry.
Mariah.
Last week, this was the number 2 song on Billboard's Top 100 charts. This week, it is number 1 on Billboard's Top 100 charts. 63 weeks on the charts. And when did the song come out? Right, mid-90s?
Yeah. You want to hear something amazing? This song came out in 1994.
94, okay.
And it became a number 1 hit for the first time in 2019. 25 years
That's
after
amazing.
its release, it's the first time it was number 1 on the charts during holiday season.
Whether you like it or not, I mean, it's proven to be timeless already. From 1994, 63 weeks on the charts.
Yes.
We're going back to songs from the 50s that have, 30 weeks.
This has
on
been
the
number
charts.
1 in 19, in 20, in 21, in 22, and 23. Every Christmas season, they say largely because of music and pop culture, grabbed it.
Yeah.
And it is number 1 now every Christmas season.
So real quick, there are only 2 songs in this week's top 10 Billboard charts that are not holiday classics.
I said, are you serious? I tried, but
I would guess it's not a classic of any kind. It's Tate McRae's Greedy.
Okay.
This is on the list in the top 10. Feels like a workout song of yours, perhaps.
Maybe.
And also in the top 10, and definitely having nothing to do with the holidays.
Who is that?
It's Jack Harlow, John. Lovin' on Me. You can't scroll
That's a
through
Jack?
Instagram
That sounds like a girl.
and get much out of it.
Okay, all right.
They do a lot with music.
Yeah,
and
they do.
much to Dr. Raymond's chagrin, no heavy metal in the top 10 this week on the Billboard Top 100.
I wonder if like AC/DC has a Christmas album.
I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know if I categorize them as
we'll
metal,
get back to
but
you on
nonetheless, very good.
Very nice.
Neither do we.
Dr. John Raymond with us live in the studio talking about an important topic, really an epidemic in our society. Some answers on vaping. That's straight ahead on WTMJ.
We hear there's a 7-footer with an accent that's making waves in the NBA. You might have heard of him.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, 56 points.
It's the Bucks hosting the Spurs tonight.
Giannis has 61 points now. How about a clean 64 for the Greek Freak? The freakish flyer takes off again.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of Giannis and the Bucks. WTMJ.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Joint pain. You have it? It's time to get rid of it. Make that call to QC Kinetics and get rid of that joint pain. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics. They'll help get your life back. The nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics uses all natural treatments that'll help restore and repair that damaged joint tissue. That means you get to move pain-free again. If the source of your pain is in your knee, your back, your shoulder, check out QC Kinetics. Be one of the tens of thousands of satisfied patients around the country who are able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. So if you have pain from an old injury or maybe associated with arthritis, check out QC Kinetics. The future of medicine is here. Regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics. Give them a call and get the most out of 2024 doing what you love. 414-285-3474 is the number. 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics. 414-285-3474.
If you're like me, you always like to add a little something new to the wardrobe. But when money's tight, it makes it harder. And that's why you shop at St. Vincent de Paul for a terrific selection of women's clothing at thrift store prices. Brand names, too, with a selection that's always up to date and looking great. You're going to find something cute at the right price, and you're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, and 23rd in Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Loziga. Good afternoon, Deb.
Good afternoon, John. Little bit of good news. That issue in Ozaukee County at Highland where we had that broken down vehicle blocking the lane, that has been cleared on northbound 43. Still going to be slow around that area, though, so that's working themselves out. We do still have an issue on northbound 41 where we had an earlier two right lanes blocked with a crash at North Avenue. That's still causing some issues. We've also got on southbound 41, right about at Watertown Plank Road, the center lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle. So that whole area is really gummed up. If you can avoid 41 either direction, that would probably be your best bet. And then on 4394 southbound coming off the high-rise bridge, looks like we've got a broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder, but it's enough to make for some delays heading across the span of that bridge, so give yourself extra time there. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 29. Tomorrow, cloudy, high of 43. Thursday, a little bit of rain, late, a high of 45. Friday and Saturday, both days are rainy with highs in the mid-40s. Right now, it's 34 degrees. Vaping is an epidemic in our country. We've discussed it many, many times. It is a real problem. The Medical College of Wisconsin, Children's Wisconsin, have led the way when it comes to diagnosing problems, identifying problems, and proposing solutions. Dr. John Raymond is the president and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin. He is with us live in the studio, and we will be joined coming up momentarily by Dr. Luella Amos, who's with the Medical College of Wisconsin and Children's Wisconsin. Dr. Raymond, thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, good afternoon, John.
Vaping. What is vaping? How do you describe it to people?
Yeah, vaping is inhaling vapors from a battery-powered device that heats and aerosolizes liquids that can contain nicotine, flavorings, THC, marijuana extracts, and other chemicals.
So I think initially vaping became a thing, and it was thought to be, well, it's not smoking, so it must be safe. But you mentioned nicotine, which suggests that there is an addictive property to this. Is that fair?
It is fair, and most commercially available vaping products have nicotine in them, and it can be harmful and addictive. And it was originally a safe alternative to cigarettes, but it really isn't safe. Use and overuse can addict and also be harmful to lungs, brain, and other organs.
I mean, the lungs were made to inhale air, so we're putting anything else in there. We just don't know what's in there. And then you talk about kids. What does the FDA recommend when it comes to vaping and our children?
FDA does not recommend vaping for children, adolescents, or young adults. And they point out that vaping, depending on what's in the chemicals, can interfere with brain development up to age 25 to 28.
If I could stereotype, Dr. Raymond, without any advanced study, I don't find many people my age vaping, right? I'm in my mid-40s, John's in his 50s. I don't see that as much. I do see it in a younger segment of our audience, but what is the troubling, a group of individuals, the age ranges where this is really affecting people?
Yeah, most of the users are young people. The products are colorful and trendy, and they appeal to kids and teens. And 25 to 50% of high school kids are daily users of vaping. And so, that really is a potential problem. They can be addicted in a very short period of time if they do around-the-clock vaping. And its use is so pervasive that many high schools are installing vape detectors in their bathrooms.
Yeah, this is a real problem. And here in Wisconsin, actually at the Medical College of Wisconsin and Children's Wisconsin, doctors there were amongst the first in the country to identify that there is a real problem. In 2019, kind of sounded the alarm, shouted to the world, we have an issue here. I watched Big Vape, The Rise and Fall of Juul, and we are mentioned in there because of our work. And here's someone who is instrumental in that work. Joining us on the hotline is Dr. Luella Amos, Associate Professor of Pulmonary Medicine in the Department of Pediatrics at the Medical College of Wisconsin and Children's Wisconsin. Dr. Amos, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So how did you and your colleagues uncover the risks of vaping for kids?
So this is pretty interesting. It was the summer of 2019, probably late June, around the time of the Summerfest, the festival that a lot of teens go to. And there were several previously healthy athletic teenagers who were admitted to Children's, came to our ER in acute respiratory distress, some in respiratory failure, with complete whiteout of their lungs. And we were just puzzled because these kids were otherwise healthy, no previous respiratory history. We figured out it wasn't infectious or anything, but the one thing that kind of linked them all was that they had been vaping pretty consistently over the past 30 days to even longer than that.
This is an amazing job you guys did to sort of uncover all of this, but what was it like working to help produce a Netflix documentary? That's incredible.
There's a lot of mixed feelings, just because we take pride in our dedication to taking care of children, protecting them. The public was quick to act to try to help our children, try to make everyone aware of it. And I think it's very important that we brought awareness to this vaping epidemic, but it's also really sad that children had to be harmed, that they had to suffer lung injury to bring attention to this vaping epidemic that's been going on for almost a decade already.
Dr. Luella Ellis is with us. Dr. John Raymond is with us in the studio. Dr. Amos, excuse me. Dr. Amos, I wanted to ask you, it seems to me, and we've discussed this a lot on the show, this reminds me in ways of the 1950s. The FDA and other agencies were late to the game in saying cigarettes were dangerous and really getting into this. This has been exploding for more than 5 years. And once again, it seems like the FDA has been late to the game in regulation, in flexing their muscle and doing all they can to protect our kids. Your mission there at Children's is to protect our children. Has the FDA fallen down on this?
I think they're doing their best to sort of backtrack. Now we're trying to regulate e-cigarettes a little bit more. Of course, the pandemic sort of distracted a lot of the regulations that were put into place. They had to submit applications essentially retrospectively because a lot of e-cigarette products were already out there, and they had to submit applications to prove that they weren't doing any harm, something called a PMTA, or pre-marketing tobacco authorization. However, that was already 2020 they were due, and then 2020 is definitely a known year for a lot of things that were going on in our country and the world. So now, some applications have been submitted, and many e-cigarettes have been taken off the market. But a lot of teenagers, millions of teenagers and young adults now are addicted. So we're way behind the 8 ball now.
And so what is some good advice for parents who may be discovering this with their sons or daughters, or have children of an age that might be tempted to explore this and you're kind of entering that late teens or even mid-teens of their life?
Yeah. So my advice to every parent, including myself, because I do have a teenager, is to educate yourself, know what e-cigarettes are, know how to recognize them because they are easy to hide in the house. If you recognize one and you see one, then you will have to act quickly and talk to your teen about it. I would start very early talking to your children, middle school age, even younger, because they start in middle school. Prevention is really the only real success in this epidemic, I feel. We have a lot of teenagers addicted to nicotine, and we're struggling to get them off of these e-cigarettes. So I think education is key. And then second is really to maintain open communication with your teenagers who may already be vaping. Every parent knows what shuts them down, what opens them up, what triggers them, and we have to be very tactful when we discuss this because teenagers are not ready to give it up if they're addicted. Finally, I think recognizing signs of withdrawal, specifically irritability, tremors in the morning, difficulty concentrating, restlessness. These things they can actually experience in the morning after 8 hours of sleep from abstaining from nicotine. They're already withdrawing. So I know it might be hard to determine, is this my teen being a teen or is this withdrawal? But I think there are some things that we need to be able to recognize to see if we have a problem already going on.
Dr. Luella Amos is with the Medical College of Wisconsin and with Children's Wisconsin. Thank you for the important work that you continue to do, Dr. Amos.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Raymond, thank you for the work you do every day. Thank you always for spending some time with us. This is such an important topic. Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Thanks, John and Greg.
It is 4:56 at WTMJ. The Milwaukee Health Briefing is sponsored by Community Care's PACE program. Set your independence in motion.
Set your independence in motion. It starts with PACE at Community Care. The program of all-inclusive care for the elderly, also known as PACE, offers complete medical and long-term care services. A team of dedicated healthcare professionals coordinates all aspects of care to support independent living as long as possible. Learn more about a community that cares. Visit joinpacewi.com or call 833-900-PACE. That's joinpacewi.com or call 833-900-PACE.
Hey, Fleet Rewards members! Save 12% now through the 24th at Fleet Farm. No rebates, no waiting, no mail-in forms or receipts. The added 12% savings coupon is for all members in-store and online. Not a member? Sign up in minutes to get your additional savings now. Forget the stamps or waiting for rebates. Save 12% during Fleet Rewards Appreciation Days. And thanks for shopping Fleet Farm. Some restrictions apply.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Milwaukee real estate firm Marquee Capital recently bought a shopping center in Kentucky in what is the firm's largest deal to date in terms of acquisition cost and square footage. Marquee Capital is part of Marcus Investments, run by the family behind the Marcus Corporation. Froedtert Health and ThedaCare have finalized their merger agreement and will launch as a single organization on January 1st. No money exchanged hands, and the combined health system says it doesn't anticipate any layoffs. Big B Coffee plans to open in the former Starbucks space at Red Arrow Park in downtown Milwaukee. It could be open by summer 2024. The new coffee shop would be locally owned and will lease the space from Milwaukee County. I'm Teddy Nykel with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Retirement doesn't have to be complicated. Are you sick of all the fancy charts and investment mumbo-jumbo thrown at you to justify the Wall Street fees you're being charged? It's not the size of your nest egg that matters, but rather the income it can produce. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and star in a brand new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception. In this film, we traveled over 20,000 miles interviewing real Americans who have retired successfully with a great lifestyle and peace of mind. They share their stories on how they get more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and the money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right, if the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even the super wealthy are shifting money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better, stress-free retirement, call today to talk to a specialist and get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Retirement Deception. Call 800-857-7979. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free. Plus, I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 800-857-7979. 800-857-7979. That's 800-857-7979.
We wish we could send you a Christmas card this year, but truth is, we've been pretty busy. So have you.
And as we become more distracted, the busier we get.
So here's our Christmas wish for you. Stop. Take a breath. Look around you. See all the pretty lights?
Look up. See the stars that guided the wise men?
Look at your loved ones. Aren't they something?
That is why we celebrate this season.
Our Christmas card to you from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
The holiday season is right around the corner. Give the gift that's hard to wrap, but easy to give. Give them a Steel. Visit your local Steel dealer or go to steelusa.com/gift guide.
Our patient's most common regret statement? I just wish I would have done this sooner.
Find out more at adventknows.com because breathing well will help you live better.
I got spurs that jingle jangle.
San Antonio steps into Fiserv form against the Bucks.
Middleton from straight on, bangs home the three. What a play. Giannis lays it in with a foul.
With coverage starting tonight at 6 with Buck Shoot Around on your home of the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a tragic update in the shooting of a 10-year-old.
I'm Greg Matzik, judging a justice.
Accidents out there. There's a crash on the off-ramp to North Avenue from northbound 43. That's slowing things down. Another one on 4394 southbound right at the Marquette. Right shoulder blocked with a crash there. We've also got on 41 southbound at Watertown Plank Road. 2 left lanes are blocked with this broken down vehicle. Looks like the northbound side, we do still have the 2 right lanes blocked because of a broken down vehicle just past North Avenue. So all these areas are going to be really backed up. Give yourself tons of extra time. But you can be our eyes on the road. You can report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329 and visit Hall Mazda during Mazda's Season of Inspiration. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear skies, a low of 18 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 44 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 10-year-old girl who was shot last week by a 13-year-old in Milwaukee has died from her injuries. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office says the victim, Trinity Johnson, was shot in a home on Milwaukee's northwest side last Wednesday. It happened just after midnight near 39th and Hampton. Johnson died in the hospital on Monday afternoon. The Milwaukee County DA says the teen who shot her is being charged as a juvenile, but it could change following Johnson's death. Police say 15% of Milwaukee's 163 homicides this year were under the age of 17.
A Republican-controlled legislative committee has now approved pay raises for University of Wisconsin system employees after months of holding up the wage increases. The Joint Committee on Employment Relations voting 5-1 Tuesday to increase UW system employees' base salaries by 4% this year and by 2% next July. The raises apply to about 35,000 UW system employees. Journal Sentinel reports that despite the deal, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos struck with UW officials over campus diversity programs to clear the way for approving the raises. Vos says even further scrutiny of DEI programs is needed.
It's shaping up to be a big and controversial year of Supreme Court decisions next year.
Retired Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Mary Kuhnmensch tells WTMJ Now she's dismayed with the current state of Supreme Court elections in Wisconsin.
It has become far and away much more partisan. To my dismay and to my disappointment, I don't know that we can ever get it back.
Kuhnmensch says she's a good friend of the newest justice, Janet Protasewicz, and she says she thinks Protasewicz might surprise some people.
I think she could, in fact, turn a lot of heads and may align with Brian Hagedorn more than she does with even the liberal sector.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Well, a major merger in Wisconsin healthcare is now official. Froedtert Health and ThedaCare announcing this afternoon that the two systems have finalized their merger agreement and plan to launch their combined health system on the first of the year. Longtime Froedtert Health president and CEO Kathleen Jacobson initially will assume the role of CEO of the new organization, but she's retiring after 6 months of transition. ThedaCare's president and CEO Imran Andrabi will then take over in charge of the system.
The Milwaukee Archdiocese says it's open to giving pastoral blessings to anyone who's seeking God's help. This after Pope Francis declared priests can bless same-sex couples, but not the marriage itself. Archbishop Jerome Listecki.
When someone comes up and asks me for a blessing, I don't say fill out the following form. I basically take them at their disposition, which they want to fulfill what God wants for them. So basically the blessing is given.
Listecki says the Pope's declaration does not change the Church's teaching on marriage.
Well, the Bucks' longest homestand of the season continues tonight against the Spurs. Coverage gets underway following the 6 o'clock news. Milwaukee 19-7 on the season. College basketball tonight, 6th-ranked Marquette begins Big East play on the road at Providence. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN with coverage beginning at 7 o'clock.
Citing unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:05.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports commentary on Wisconsin's afternoon news. Here's Greg Matzek.
With 3 weeks to play in the NFL's regular season, just 5 teams have no shot at reaching the playoffs. That's it, just 5. The Jets, the New England Patriots, the Tennessee Titans, the Arizona Cardinals, the Washington Commanders, Carolina Panthers. There's your list. Teams that will not play in the postseason. What does the NFL believe of the system? It's created to flood the back of schedules with division-heavy foes, to make sure that first-place teams from one year play first-place teams the next year. And teams that have a struggle bus sort of season end up playing other teams that fail to reach 500 or maybe even the postseason. The NFL doesn't like teams to be in rebuild mode for too long, so they build schedules appropriately. That's why every year you see a team go from worst to first. The team that was in the playoffs one year, on the outside looking in the next. It's all by design in the NFL. They've created a competitive, balanced schedule that allows bottom feeders to become front runners in the nick of time. That's right, the NFL getting exactly what they want out of this regular season. Only 5 teams will be watching the rest of the way.
Extra Points is sponsored by All Right Home and Remodeling. When you want it done right, call All Right.
I'm Randy Miller. In 1969, my Uncle Lou started a roofing and siding business called All Right. That company joined NARI, the National Association Remodeling Industry. 50 years later, I'm proud to be at the helm of both All Right and NARI Milwaukee as president. Integrity, ethics, and high standards build a legacy both in business and in life. I learned this from my Uncle Lou and the NARI leaders before me. Learn more at ALLRITE remodeling.com/NARI.
Sweet, flaky, and utterly delicious. That's the famous Kringle from O&H Danish Bakery. Guaranteed to get you on the nice list, O&H Danish Bakery can deliver that heavenly goodness right to your doorstep. Now that's a memorable gift where you know you've nailed it. And it arrives fresh in just 2 business days, anywhere within the country. Order online today, ohddanishbakery.com, or come on in to O&H Danish Bakery in Racine, Oak Creek, or Sturnivan and taste the difference of bakery made from scratch.
It's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Panoramic CBD. Whether you're looking to reduce anxiety, pain, depression, or just need to relax, Panoramic CBD has the best products for everyone's needs. They farm, process, test, and package their own CBD products, hence the slogan from soil to oil. By overseeing every stage of the process, Panoramic CBD eliminates the middleman, ensuring unmatched quality throughout. To offer you the best CBD products at the best prices for you and your pets. Shop local. Shop Wisconsin. From soil to oil, PanoramicCBD.com.
If you have $750,000 or more in retirement assets, you may be close to retiring well. Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. We are just as serious about your retirement as you are. Your goals are our goals, and you always come first. That's the Kowal way. With retirement in sight, every move matters. Now is the time to meet with our team of fiduciary advisors. Give our office a call at 262-522-4040 or visit thekowalway.com to schedule your complimentary review.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 24-pack bottles, Essential Everyday Purified Water, 2 for $7. 20 to 31.6 ounce Selected Varieties Brew Pub Pizza, $5.99. Selected Varieties Prairie Farms Gallon White Milk, $3.99. 64-ounce Selected Varieties Mott's Apple Juice, $2.99.
Look at those brats. You do tailgating right. Absolutely. Did you see the spread out there? You've got enough food to feed the entire lot. I'm splurging now and then hoping to win $700 in free groceries. $700? Yeah, it's all part of the 70th anniversary at Century Foods. No kidding. Next week, I'll do the shopping. Maybe I'll score $700 in groceries. All you need is the weekly code. It's on Century's Facebook or Instagram. Oh, I just remembered. I'll be out of town next week. Yeah, right, cheapskate.
Ends January 3rd.
Small business owners can make a little of anything go a long way.
It's true. My bakery is made up of a little sugar, spice, and edible glitter.
Well, that's why U.S. Cellular is offering small businesses lines for as little as $19.99, plus $300 off any phone.
That's great. A little does go a long way. Unless we're talking sprinkles, everyone always needs more sprinkles.
Oh, of course. Get lines for $19.99 plus $300 off any phone today. U.S. Cellular. Built for business. Built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Greg Matzik is here in the studio. Debbie Lozic is here. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley is here. Sam Butson is producing the show this afternoon. All right, I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
I'm going to ask the question first, then I'm going to explain why I'm asking the question. Why are men disgusting, filthy pigs? Here's the deal. Our studios here at our beautiful facility have 2 bathrooms down in the studio space, and we share space down here with 101.7 The Truth and ESPN Milwaukee. All of our studios are down here. They look out in the market hall. We have 2 bathrooms. Each is a single stall, so men and women use the bathroom. They're right near the studio because in the middle of the show, you don't have time to go up in the office, blah, blah, blah. So this happens routinely around here. I go in the bathroom, and it's a disaster. The toilet seat is always up. There's pee all over the place. Not only is it all around the rim, it's on the seat, which is in the upright position. It's on the floor. There's scraps of toilet paper that are now stuck in the pee, which is stuck on the floor. There's stuff everywhere. It smells terrible in there.
So you also need to describe the bathrooms that we have down here, because there are studio level bathrooms that we have, and they're unisex. There's one door. There's 2 doors, right?
Yep. 2 single bathrooms.
And it is a bowl that's in there. There is no urinal. There's nothing. There is only one place
Just
for
a
you
toilet.
to do your business. That's it.
So it really set me off yesterday. I'm waiting. Both are occupied. And we're getting ready to go on the air, so I'm waiting. I'm just going to go number 1. A guy comes out of the bathroom, comes winging out of there, zipping his stuff up. I don't hear the hand dryer going, so he hasn't washed his hands unless they're wet. And then I go in there, I got to go, and the toilet seat is up, and there is pee everywhere. Like he did it on purpose.
Like the bowl's just nothing more than a suggestion?
Yes, exactly. It's like dripping off the bowl.
Fun.
And the seat is up. And I see him coming out. I'm like, hey, you know how guys, when they come out of the bed, hey. I go in there. I'm like, what the heck? This is a disaster.
Well, so did you leave?
No, because I had to go and then get on the air. So what I did, I didn't want the next person to think that I left it a mess.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So here I'm pulling toilet paper off the roll because there's no paper towels. God forbid. We have to have hand dryers because, no paper towels. So I take the toilet paper, and now I am wiping around the entire bowl. I'm wiping off the seat. I'm wiping the floor. Matt Sasso's laughing because he probably leaves the bathroom a mess.
Oh, he's part of the night team here, so who knows what happens after hours.
So I wipe it up everywhere. I'm wiping it up because I don't want the next person to think that I did it. So I throw it in the sink. Now I'm washing my hands. Now I'm almost late getting in the show. And I just started thinking, the guys at this place, if you live at home and you have worked it out with your wife not to put the toilet seat down, that's between you and her. And I'm good with that. That's your house. That's your business. If she doesn't care and you want to leave it up, then go for it. If you use the bathroom in a place, Deb, where men and women have to both use the bathroom,
Absolutely.
It's so unchivalrous. It's so rude. It's so disgusting.
If you put the seat back down, please have better aim.
Yes.
Is it something anatomical that I'm not understanding?
I don't pee on the seat.
Yeah,
I don't understand why it's so difficult.
Yeah, sometimes people pee in two streams, but that's a different story for another time.
And then clean it up.
Well,
if you do that, if you have an issue, you got the double stream going, then either sit your butt down like the women do.
It's a weird thing.
Or clean it up.
Kind of angle yourself.
Sam says she's hovering.
Because it's so gross.
Yes, and even then you have to make sure that you don't leave anything behind. I'm with you, John.
I don't get it.
100%, man. It's just nasty.
I would say if I see that both bathrooms are being occupied, I will not walk in immediately after somebody walks out. For the reason you mentioned, right? It's maybe your level of embarrassment. I just don't want to be that close, that timed up to somebody else's going to the bathroom.
But I had to, like we were going on the air, Greg.
I know. It could, like, the times that I've done it, I have come away wondering, not if the person did a number one or a number two, but is there a number three that I don't know about? Like, what just happened in here? I mean, it was absolutely wretched.
You've had bad luck.
So I just went to a different area.
Just clean up.
Yeah.
I don't understand why guys are so rude. And I know I'm generalizing, but it's not women in there leaving the toilet seat up and peeing on the floor. I can promise you that.
Probably not.
Just, I don't understand the mindset. Do it in your house. Do whatever you want.
What do you think of the airline bathroom? Like when you have to go when you're on the airplane?
Oh, it's terrible.
I mean, that's like a hazmat scene.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. But at least there you have turbulence to blame. What's shaking you around in our little bathroom here outside the studio?
That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Okay. Thank you. I feel better, though.
Good.
5:15 at WTMJ. Do you get gifts for your pets for Christmas? Do you really celebrate them? Do you think your pet has a favorite holiday? There's a new survey out. It's got all that ground covered. That's up next on WTMJ.
Start planning for your retirement today so you enjoy retirement tomorrow. Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday mornings at 7, where Tony Drake and his Education First team discuss retirement trends, taxes, inflation, and Social Security benefits to help you achieve a more secure financial future.
Join us this week as we talk about year-end planning and setting New Year's financial resolutions.
Retirement Ready with Tony Drake on WTMJ.
John Mercure here for Town Bank. It's Town Bank, Wisconsin, part of the Wintrust family of community banks. Do you check your bank account and feel like you aren't saving at all? At Town Bank, they view banking differently. They actually want to see your savings grow. With their amazing new CD rates at Town Bank, you can now earn even more so you can sit back and relax. They're not going to tell you, pound it in the savings account, put it in the savings account. Everyone should have all their money in a savings account. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results. Start earning more. It's Town Bank. Best customer service, best banking solutions. I love this. You've got little ones. They've got Junior Savers Club accounts. They've got those first accounts for the kids with fun activities and events. It teaches them about saving money and what to do. It's Junior Savers Club account. I've got Total Access Checking, free ATMs nationwide. It's townbank.us. Check it out. Bank differently with Town Bank. Town Bank, Wisconsin's bank. My bank. It's the best bank. Town Bank. Member FDIC.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here for St. Kate the Arts Hotel. If you're looking to start the weekend right, head to Bubbles and Brunch at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Every weekend from 9 to 1 in Giggly Champagne and Wine Bar, this brunch is anything but basic. The atmosphere is set with a local DJ spinning music to set the mood, while the hotel's acclaimed culinary team offers up a menu of elevated breakfast dishes. Add to the fun with endless mimosas. Experience a brunch that is anything but basic at Giggly Champagne and Wine Bar inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Reservations available online. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
Traffic is sponsored by Weniger Compressor, ready to service any facility at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor carries high-performance, top-of-the-line compressors. Many offer a lifetime warranty and 60-day return policy. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. We still have problems along southbound 41 at Watertown Plank Road. 2 left lanes are blocked with a broken down vehicle. That's got backups all the way back past Hampton Avenue. We've also got an accident on the North Avenue off-ramp from 43 northbound. It is off on the side at the crash investigation site, but it's enough to make things slow down a bit. Also at Fond du Lac Avenue, the center lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle, so that's backing things up through there as well. We got east and westbound 94, of course, slowing down. Eastbound is going to be slow coming out of Gerke's Corners all the way to Moreland, and then from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Westbound's backing up from 20th all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 29 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 43 as we warm it up a little bit. Thursday, mostly cloudy, a high of 45. Friday, chance for rain, a high of 45. Then Saturday and Christmas Eve Sunday, both days will flirt with 50 degrees. Both days, chance for rain. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 33 degrees.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do.
Pets in Christmas time. Pets in the holidays.
It's a terrible Christmas song.
Yeah, that is a bad one. It makes Sam smile.
Pretty rough.
That's no.
Okay.
Nearly half of Americans believe that their loved ones are more excited to see their pets than they are to see them. So if you're going to your folks' house,
yeah, I get that.
Your folks might be more excited to see your dog than they are to see you. So half of Americans believe that's the case, and 32% say, yeah, when people come over to the house, I'm more excited to see their pet than to see them.
Okay, now think about this. Are they really, or is it just in the greeting, right? Like my mom and dad, they see me, and it's a hug, good to see you, thanks for coming over. And then my dad is immediately down on one knee with our greyhound, like, oh, you're nice. You're such a good dog. Good see you. He's licking his face.
Oh, give me a kissy.
Right, it's just, it's a different sort of greeting. So I get it. I know where this is coming from.
20% of pet owners believe that their pets enjoy the holiday season more than they do. They do. They get treats. They get presents. They don't have the stress. The dogs don't have to shop for gifts.
More food on the floor, right?
Yes. People
more
around.
Everything.
More pets because the people around. Oh, you're a good dog. 48% say they do something special for their dog during Christmas. That number surprises me. Only 48%.
That seems low given that people spend thousands of dollars on their pets each year.
This is the list of the things that people most often do for their special pet. They get a custom ornament or decoration made. 64% say they will do this for their pet sometime during the pet's lifetime. 64% say they will get a custom ornament or decoration made. We haven't done that.
Okay. So with the pet on it, right? We've done that.
With the pet on it.
So our old dog Abigail, my brother's dogs, we have a combo ornament with them on. We have something for night on our tree this year. Yeah, it's all about memories and remembering your pet and animal.
So that's the top of the list. 60% say they will dress their pet up in holiday clothing or pajamas.
Not doing that.
We don't do that. Our dogs would never put up with that. This one surprises me. Listen to these two. 49% say they give the dog their own tree. 47% their own stocking.
We do have a stocking for Night.
We do too.
Yes.
But their own tree? What does that mean?
That's interesting.
Well,
No.
you got the ornament. I guess you don't need a tree for it. 49% say the animal gets their own tree. Yeah, Bell and Baxter have their own stocking. So this came home to roost for me this weekend because we were in Costco and we had the cart full. It was almost done. We were trying really hard to just concentrate on things for our shopping list and things for when we're entertaining coming up. And there was a big, huge basket. It's made out of that brown wicker that you see fancy picnic baskets made out of that have the red and white cloth. It's that same material.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, it's nice.
You see people carrying into the park. Okay, they had one of these in the shape of a bone. And this thing is huge. It's like 3 feet long and 2 feet tall. It's really big. And it has dog treats in it and has stuffed toys like of Santa with a squeaker in the little basket. And we walk by it, and Michelle says, "Oh, that's so cute." I said, "Michelle, we're not getting that." "Oh, it's so cute. It would look so cute in our living room." I said, "We don't need that.
So are they
That's
supposed
like
to
$50.
like gnaw on it, like find their way to treats?
No, you take the treats and stuff out, and then it becomes a storage bin.
Bone.
Very good.
Okay.
For their toys, I guess. So that's what Michelle said. "We'll put it in the living room." And I said, "Michelle, we don't need that." And, she gave me that look that all our wives give us.
That'll look great.
Okay, so guess what? It's sitting at my house.
Yes.
So we bought that for the dogs. That was $40 alone. What do you think the average person spends on their pet each Christmas?
Oh, man. So if it's just like gifts, little stuff like that, I would
Gifts
say...
and extra treats, things like that.
Gifts and extra treats. Okay. I will say $55.
The average person, according to the survey, spends $106.
Wow.
$106.
It's more than I spent on my dad this year.
Your dad's probably not as
have a nice
grumpy.
gift, too.
Yeah. That's a lot, $106. 42% say they give gifts to their dogs besides treats for the holiday. So, like, I guess, toys. Here's the most popular things people give. 61% of people who give gifts to their dogs say they give toys. That's number one.
Yeah, something squeaky. Right?
Clothing is number two. That's weird to me. I don't get that. Treats comes in third. I thought it'd be toys than treats. We always buy a little both for each, like maybe a bag of treats. My dogs will open gifts, which is fun, so we wrap them and they
put
tear
their
them
paw
open.
on it and rip them open, eat it.
Yes. Toys, the number one thing that people buy. 77% of pet owners believe their pet is happier during the holiday season than any time of year.
I get the feeling that our dog's going to be confused because there's going to be 20 people at our house, and there's very rarely 20 people at our house. I think he's going to be a little bit confused what all the commotion is.
Listen to this little stat. 49% say that they move the dog's bed into the dining room so that they can be closer to the dog during the holiday meal. 49% grab that little bed and move it into the dining room so the dog eats right there during the meal. We don't do that.
We do not do that, but Knight has 3 beds.
Yeah, we have a bunch too.
Right, so he's got a kennel, and he doesn't go in there often, but it is a comfortable place for him. And it's open. It's in our office. He's got a bed in our bedroom.
Yeah.
And then he's got, it's really like just like an old patio furniture cushion for like a love seat that we put down, put a blanket on it. So that's his bed in kind of the family room.
Yeah, we have 3 beds too.
He mixes it up.
Dogs sleep on the bed in our bedroom, not on our bed. They have their own little beds in the bedroom. They have one near the fireplace in the living room. They have one in where Michelle works. Almost 50% bring one of those beds into the dining room while you're eating the nice meal. Will you buy Night gifts?
So we did. So I think Emily and the girls were out and they got something put in his stocking. I didn't see exactly what it is. And we'll probably have something to keep them occupied while we're doing stuff on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Right, it's commotion. There's people walking around all over the place, different levels of the house. So to give him like a pig ear or something like that, that'll keep his mind occupied for a little bit.
Yeah.
Calm him down a little.
So we used to buy small stuff for the stockings, but apparently this year we bought a 3.5 foot by 2.5 foot wicker bone.
It's a great idea. It is a great idea.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It took up the whole shopping cart. I mean, that's how big it was. I had to get a second shopping cart to carry the gift for the dog.
Oh, it didn't quell your shopping in any way?
Oh, no. No. So that was my second game plan. Shell, if we get this, we're not going to have room to put the other stuff in the cart. She said, I don't think there's a limit on how many carts we can take,
Get
John.
another cart. That is right.
Yeah. It's a bad idea. 526 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green once again. What a great day. Stocks rally. The S&P was up 28 points. The Dow closed up 251 points on the day to 37,557. The NASDAQ up 98 points. It has now crossed 15,000 at 15,003. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. Sit means sit dog training. Well, those dogs, at least they're not going to bark or be noisy around that big bone that I was forced to buy because they're better dogs, thanks to sit means sit dog training. They listen better. They're not as barky. They don't jump. It's sit means sit dog training. We started with a free consultation. You could do the exact same thing. Multiple locations. We met with Matt, the owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Then we got connected with the trainer. A few sessions later, our dogs, Bella and Baxter, listen better. They're just better dogs. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training. You too can have a happy, confident, more obedient dog. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training.
Jesus tells us that he will remain with us for all time. This is Archbishop Listecki. It's Advent, and as Catholics, we're spreading the word about the real presence of Jesus Christ. The wonderful way Jesus stays with us is that he gives himself to us in the Eucharist. He is truly present. During Mass, the bread and wine become the body and blood of Christ, and we receive Jesus in communion. So join us at Mass and experience the presence of Jesus in the Eucharist.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery, and from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry, "Replace! Replace!" But the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenex are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Companies are in the midst of open enrollment. I know we are here at Good Karma Brands with R&R Insurance. To shed some light on the topic is Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations.
Thank you, Vince. A benefit understood is a benefit appreciated. Knowing how to best communicate your benefits will help your employees understand their options, guide their decision-making, and increase their sense of value and engagement. R&R Insurance can show your business how to use your benefit program to attract and retain employees. In this tight labor market, you need every competitive advantage.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
At R&R Insurance, we help employers brand their benefit packages in a customized, easy-to-understand fashion, taking out the complex and confusing nature of shopping for health insurance. With our latest mobile technology, your employees will have easy, immediate access to benefit information for themselves and their families 24/7. At R&R Insurance, we know employee benefits.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law fights for those who fought for us. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied the VA benefits you're entitled to, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm Wyatt Barmore Pooley. Your top story, a stunning ruling in Colorado.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, northbound on the Rock Freeway, just about a mile and a half north of Racine Avenue. Got the right shoulder blocked with a crash, so heads up with that. We're still dealing with the problem on 41 southbound at Watertown Plank Road with the 2 left lanes blocked with a broken down vehicle. Another crash on northbound 43 at Fond du Lac Avenue has the 2 left lanes blocked. Actually, it's a disabled vehicle that's causing the issues. We got backups all the way back through the Marquette up to that point. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight we're going to have mainly clear skies, a low of, it's actually going to be partly cloudy with a low of 28. Tomorrow's going to be mostly sunny and mild, a high of 42. It's 32 degrees in Milwaukee at 5:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, in a decision with major implications nationwide, the Colorado Supreme Court has removed former President Donald Trump from the state's 2024 ballot, ruling 4-3 that he is not an eligible presidential candidate because of the 14th Amendment's insurrectionist ban. The state Supreme Court decision only applies to Colorado, but an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, which is likely coming, could settle the matter for the entire nation. The ruling will be placed on hold in the state pending appeal until January 4th. Colorado election officials have said the matter needs to be settled by January 5th, which is the statutory deadline to set the list of candidates for the GOP primary. The 14th Amendment says officials who take an oath to support the Constitution are banned from future office if they engaged in insurrection, but the wording is vague. It was passed right after the Civil War, and it doesn't explicitly mention the presidency. This clause has only been applied twice since 1919. A 10-year-old girl who was shot last week by a 13-year-old in Milwaukee has died from her injuries. Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office says the victim, Trinity Johnson, was shot in a home on the northwest side last Wednesday. It happened just after midnight near 39th and Hampton. Johnson dying in the hospital on Monday afternoon. The district attorney's office says the teen who shot her is being charged as a juvenile so far, but that could change following Johnson's death. The State Department today strengthening and upgrading its ties to the Smithsonian Institution to use as a diplomatic tool for scientists and museums around the world.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says creating ties with other nations involves more than just trade and military alliances.
If you go back to the earliest days of our nation and actually to Ben Franklin, scientific exchanges have shaped and strengthened our country.
Which is why the State Department is helping Smithsonian Institution scientists do that with other nations, hoping that knowledge promotes growth and peace. Andy Field, ABC News.
Authorities in Milwaukee seeking a white Kia in connection to a road rage shooting on 43 over the weekend. The victim was traveling southbound near Pioneer Road in Mequon when a white sedan passed by, fired shots into the victim's vehicle. The Ozaukee County Sheriff's Office says the vehicle was struck several times. Luckily, nobody was hurt. The suspect vehicle is a white Kia four-door, model and license plate unknown. The Milwaukee Archdiocese says it's open to giving pastoral blessings to anyone who is seeking God's help after Pope Francis declared priests can bless same-sex couples, but not same-sex marriages. Archbishop Jerome Listecki tells WTMJ.
When someone comes up and asks me for a blessing, I don't say fill out the following form. I basically take them at their disposition, which they want to fulfill what God wants for them. So basically a blessing is given.
Married former clergyman Joe Madalena and Scott Lone are happy about the Pope's recent declaration. Madalena was a former Catholic priest. He tells TMJ4 News.
It feels like I'm not just tolerated but accepted, that my husband and I, Scott and I, are accepted, and that we are not stepchildren, but we're still part of the family.
Madalena says they're planning to get a blessing from a priest. The hope is doing so for their 25th anniversary. That'll be in 2029. A Republican-controlled legislative committee has now approved pay raises for the University of Wisconsin system employees after months of holding up these raises. The Joint Committee on Employment Relations finally voting 5-1 to increase the UW system employees' salaries by 4% this year and 2% next July. That vote taking place this afternoon. The raises will apply to about 35,000 UW system employees. And Third Space Brewing is expanding. The craft brewer planning to open a new location at the site of the former Tristing Pub in Menominee Falls. That site near Appleton and Good Hope has been closed for 3 years. Third Space is hoping to open the new location by June of next year. I'm Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:34.
Hey, Fleet Rewards members, save 12% now through the 24th at Fleet Farm. No rebates, no waiting, no mail-in forms or receipts. The added 12% savings coupon is for all members in-store and online. Not a member? Sign up in minutes to get your additional savings now. Forget the stamps or waiting for rebates. Save 12% during Fleet Rewards Appreciation Days. And thanks for shopping Fleet Farm. Some restrictions apply.
It's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Panoramic CBD. Whether you're looking to reduce anxiety, pain, depression, or just need to relax, Panoramic CBD has the best products for everyone's needs. They farm, process, test, and package their own CBD products, hence the slogan from soil to oil. By overseeing every stage of the process, Panoramic CBD eliminates the middleman, ensuring unmatched quality throughout. To offer you the best CBD products at the best prices for you and your pets. Shop local. Shop Wisconsin. From soil to oil, PanoramicCBD.com.
So I came to Advent because I was experiencing recurrent sinus infections. As a new mom, it was really kind of difficult.
Many of our patients complain of sinus infections. The headaches, fatigue, and nasal stuffiness have a profound effect on their lives.
I just felt like your sickness starts affecting your energy level and, the things that you really enjoy doing. That really was a breaking point for me.
So Molly came to Advent. Abnormally tight sinuses and swollen turbinates led to simple breathing triangle solutions that ended up taking about 20 minutes. in office after she was breathing freely.
I'm just in awe at the amount of air that that I'm able to breathe in and out each night, and I haven't had a sinus infection since the procedure.
I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. When you breathe well, you do live better.
Results may vary.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert here to report mortgage rates continue their downward trend. Low overhead Accunet can now deliver a 6.89% APR on a $225,000 30-year fixed rate loan with 25% down, top-notch credit, and all the other right stuff. Our special 30-year fixed rate money for first-time Wisconsin homebuyers is now down to 6.125% with an APR as low as 6.29 and as little as 3% down. Household income limits apply. Now, a lot of home buyers hit pause during the holiday season, but may be missing out. We just helped one of our rock-solid pre-approved first-time buyers get an accepted offer $49,000 under the asking price and lock in some of that special 30-year fixed money at a 6.19 APR. Household income limits apply. With rates back down, home shoppers are going to be coming out of the woodwork in the new year. So whether you're just starting your home search or you're ready to get back at it, go with the local mortgage experts at Accunet and get ahead of the pack by clicking on the blue button today at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Oh, if only that were the case. Niz, do you have a pet at home? Do you guys have a dog or a cat?
Yeah, we do. We have a little Yorkie. He's almost like a cat.
That's
but
kinda
yeah,
cool.
no, he's a good boy.
43% of Americans believe that when they travel for the holidays, their loved ones are more excited to see their dog than they are to see them. Do you bring the dog with you ever when you head up north?
Depends. Yeah, when we go up north for sure. But yeah, when we go to my parents' house and we go to Julie's parents' house, usually the dog comes with. We don't bring him. Maybe even my brother's house, yeah. But that's it. No cousins, aunt's house. We don't burn
What's the dog's name?
Burning them with that. Murphy. Little Murphy weighs 5 pounds. So you literally throw him in a purse and he's good to go. He doesn't really do anything, and he's a lap dog for sure.
How much do you spend on Murphy on an average Christmas? And I'm going to tell you what the average is amongst pet owners. Between extra treats and gifts and toys and fun clothing.
Used to be way worse, especially before we had kids, right? I mean, before we had like real kids, like it was like Santa came from Murphy. But I would say now it's down to let's ballpark it, $25. Treats and a little toy.
I think that's what it is for us too. The average American, according to a survey I'm holding, spends $106 on their dog at Christmas time.
Seems like
that's a lot.
Seems like it's a lot. It seems like I'm going to make some people mad. Seems like an East Coast thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Sit in my condo with my, you know what I mean?
With my scotch and my dog on my lap.
Scotch and my dog on my lap, and I'm going to spend hundreds on him.
The fire's roaring, and I got my dog in his fancy silk pajamas.
Yes, exactly.
The most popular gifts are in this order for those that spend $106. Toys is at the top of the list. Clothing. And treats. Now, you have one of those cute little dogs who probably behaves. Do you dress the dog up?
Yeah, we're guilty of that too.
That's fun.
Well, I would say my wife is guilty, except for on Sunday, I will throw the Packer jersey on Murphy. He walks around, he gets Packered out, he's ready to go. But any other day, but this, actually, I'll take that back. In the wintertime, like when we go for walks and stuff, he likes wearing coats. And I know he likes it because he'll stay out there longer. Yeah. So, we throw a coat on him for sure.
All right, let's talk about what's coming up, Niz. Maybe, because we've already established it's definitely not going to be a white Christmas, but it could be a soggy one, huh?
It could be, yeah. In fact, on my extended outlook, Christmas Day looks like the soggiest of days, and we have multiple rain chances. Hey, real quickly, you had a good question for me yesterday.
Oh, yes.
You wanted to know, if it stood where we stand right now with snow in December, which is an official trace in Milwaukee, that would tie for the least snowiest. And there's two other years that's occurred, 1943 and 1894.
Oh, my gosh.
So if we don't get any snow, we could tie for the least snowiest. An asterisk by that right now, because there is a chance of maybe some snow shower activity towards the end of next week. So we'll see. We'll see if that plays out.
So if we don't
in the
get
meantime,
that, this hasn't happened in 80 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah, 1943. And then you got 1913 had 0.2 of an inch. 1939 had 0.4. 2014 had a half inch. So, I mean, yeah, so that's pretty darn rare to have that. So, tonight, nothing of the sort. Mostly cloudy, 28. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 42. Maybe the best day of the week. Clouds roll in again on Thursday up to 45 with a chance of some rain showers, mainly late. On Friday, chance of showers, 45. Saturday, maybe a few sprinkles, 51. And then Sunday, Christmas Eve, chance of showers in 52. It's a Nashville Christmas.
Wow.
That's
yeah.
what it is.
Sure feels like it. Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. All right, Niz, we'll catch up tomorrow.
Yeah, all right, sounds good, guys. Later.
It is 5:42 at WTMJ. Major Garrett, CBS Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett with us after Debbie helps get you home.
Oh, man, I hope it's not another cold day out in Wisconsin.
When Old Man Winter comes knocking, we're here to help keep you safe in the thick of it.
Winter weather advisory tonight and power outages in River West.
Snowy skies will make way for sub-zero temperatures over the next few hours.
With severe weather coverage on WTMJ, sponsored by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
Hey, I've got a great gift idea for you. A great gift idea. You don't even have to wrap it. It's so easy. How about transforming your current bathroom? Your wife has been saying we need to do something different. Maybe your loved one, your spouse wants a walk-in shower. Get rid of that bathtub. Be a great surprise. We did this with Sidex, S-I-D-E-X, Sidex. They came in, they took out that conventional bathtub, put in a beautiful walk-in shower, a stunning glass shower door. It's lightened things up. The bathroom is bigger. It's convenient. It's really, really awesome. It's Sidex. They came in and did the project in one day. Once the stuff came in and they installed it, it was just a few hours. It was easy. They've got the best products at Sidex, the industry's best installers at Sidex. I trust them in my house. Free shower door upgrade when you mention WTMJ or John Mercure. Go with Sidex and mention WTMJ or John Mercure. You get the free shower door upgrade. It is absolutely beautiful. It's Sidex.
Well-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi for Omaha Steaks and omahasteaks.com. Have you ever struggled with an idea? What do I buy someone for Christmas? Well, last year I was that person. You know what I did? I delivered or had delivered Omaha Steaks to my friends and family members. Omaha Steaks, they're great packages, all the quality, all the convenience, everything you need for an incredible holiday gift experience. They're great, tender, juicy, extra-aged steaks. They're mouth-watering bacon-wrapped filet mignons, a holiday gift favorite. How about their easy-to-prepare meals and their curated gift packages, all guaranteed to make spirits bright all winter long. We made it easy for you. Go to omahasteaks.com, take advantage of 50% off site-wide, plus use our promo code WTMJ checkout. Get an additional $30 off your order. Hurry, because the Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals at Omaha Steaks will be gone before you know it. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code WTMJ at checkout for an extra $30 off your order. Minimum order may be required.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda Traffic Tip Line, 414-238-9329.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hey there, Deb.
Hey there, John. Yeah, we still have a couple of issues on 43. On northbound 43, right about at Fond du Lac Avenue, the two left lanes are blocked with a broken down vehicle. And then a little bit further on at North Avenue's off-ramp, we're still dealing with an accident on that off-ramp there. So delays coming out of the Marquette all the way up past that point. You'll be back on the brakes from about Locust all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slowing down from Silver Spring all the way down to Locust. Eastbound 94, we got some heavy traffic from 92nd Street through the Stadium interchange. Westbound's going to slow down from about 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and then back on the brakes basically from Moreland Road all the way to Gerke's Corners. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. He is the voice and talent behind Agent of Betrayal, The Double Life of Robert Hansen, which is absolutely incredible. I finished it. Each episode's better than the one before it. You need to check it out. I listened on Apple, but you can listen to it anywhere you listen to your podcast. Major, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, John, and thank you for that. I'm really glad you enjoyed it.
I